hit your 14th birthday. Once you've done that, you have to go through at least 11 hours of face-to-face training. You'll then graduate as a Level 7 official, which means you can take charge of county-level games. But hold your horses, there's still a long way to go to get to the Premier League. Your next step is to spend a year each at levels 6, 5 and 4. This covers the top of the amateur game. Only at level 3 do you start doing Northern Counties or Isthmian League level games, for example. If you've done this all quickly, you can reach level 2 and ref your first National League match after, I don't know, 6 years? After getting enough experience at that level, you can apply to be a referee in the EFL. There's an interview, people watching you do games, and then, if the EFL are happy, you'll be granted a Level 1 licence to ref in games in League 2 and above. Now, they don't just say on you go to the Premier League, you have to work your way up through the divisions. Only after years of hard work and refereeing on cold Tuesday nights in Stoke can you be considered to do matches in some of Europe's very best stadiums. Now, who was the youngest to reach the very top? It was actually Michael Oliver. He reffed his first Premier League match in 2010 at the tender age of just 25. So if you want to follow in his footsteps, crack on. It'll only take you roughly a decade, thousands of hours of work and an incredibly thick skin. In total, there are 37,000 registered referees across England, but the PGMOL has only deemed 21 good enough for the top flight. That means there's not even a 1 in 1,000 chance you'll even make it in. Obviously, referees can make mistakes, but when you think about it, having a go at them is kind of like slating a brain surgeon.
How are you? It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT Sunday morning. My name's Shebahn Aherne alongside former Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
So live on talkSPORT yesterday, a 1-1 draw between Liverpool and Chelsea. The Liverpool fans let their feelings be known at full time.
Chelsea will be able to say they've snapped their losing run, but the Liverpool fans aren't happy about the fact that they haven't put this game to bed when they had it in the palm of their hand after 20 minutes. Liverpool won, Chelsea won.
We'll have all the reaction to that and hear from Under Pressure Arne Slot a little bit later on. A convincing 3-0 win for Manchester City against Brentford, keeping the pressure on league leaders Arsenal.
Omar Mamouche, only his second Premier League goal of the season, has sealed this one in injury time. 3 goals, 3 points surely for Manchester City. Manchester City 3, Brentford 0.
We will get into all of yesterday's games, including the playoff games in the EFL as well, and what's to come today in the Premier League and beyond, and also the fight of the year last night. What a bloody mess. Daniel Dubois beats Fabio Wardley in a slugfest to become WBO World Heavyweight Champion.
I had to pull out of the bag and rely on it and use my skills, and yeah, what a great fight, what a great battle, man. But I'm number 1 again.
There we go. What an absolute mess poor Fabio Wardley's face ended up in last night. Lots to discuss. Huge show ahead. You can get in touch with us 03717 223344 81089 if you want to send us a text message. Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Good morning. Good morning, Cass.
Good morning.
I believe you played the doting husband last night.
Yeah, well, we went out for a Chinese, yeah, and it was lovely. And
did you pay?
What did I pay? No, it was nice. It's in Orpington, which is not too far from me, and it was nice. But Jo had a glass of wine, and she had a large glass of wine. And Jo can't take much drink in general terms, anyway. And she had one, so she was all giggly and silly after one. And I was laughing. I thought, you're such a lightweight. I couldn't believe. And she went, do you think I'm quite merry? I went, you are. You've had one glass of wine. Okay, it's a large white wine, and you're just such a lightweight. But I felt like I'm going to have to tuck you up in bed after one glass of wine.
Yeah.
But it was funny. We had a good time. We popped out and yeah.
Mary's nice, isn't it? Mary's a nice way to be. Just Mary.
Yeah, well, she gave up drinks. She just has the odd drink now and again.
Yeah.
She didn't like herself on it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
But she enjoyed last night. She said, I really enjoyed having one glass.
Oh, nice.
But how come one glass? I'm serious.
I mean,
can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go on.
Is there an amount that you know that you get a bit tipsy on? If you say, I had 5 glasses of wine last night.
If I'm drinking wine, no, it just doesn't touch the sides. But if I'm drinking cheap wine, it'll just make me feel bad.
Right.
If I'm out with the girls and say I start with a Prosecco, a couple of glasses and Mary wins. Where are we going? But no, with wine, I think because I enjoy having wine, that I've got a nice tolerance.
Is Whispering Angel, who Alan Brazil brags on about, and you drink, is that fairly priced or? Is it cheap?
That would be like an expensive wine.
Oh, is it? I didn't
top
know.
shelf wine.
I'm not. I like red wine, but I don't drink.
If you're getting it at a restaurant, they're sticking on 60 quid, which is mental.
Oh, right, okay.
Whereas if you get it in the shop, you're 22 quid.
Yeah.
For a bottle of wine. So that's what I would drink. Yeah. Whispering Angel. But last night I had a nice Sancerre, actually. Well, our friends were over yesterday. Had a nice Sancerre, sat outside in the garden, and it was
red or white, because they do both.
A white Sancerre. Yeah, it was lovely. Really, really nice. Jamie had got that in last week when I was away working in Scotland.
Yeah.
And I drank it for him. You're welcome.
So anyway, that was my Chinese. And
I'm glad she was merry though. Did she like you then? Did she seem to prefer you yesterday?
Yes.
That's nice.
It's nice. It's one day in a year. It's nice, isn't it?
At least you tucked it up and got on with your evening. Last night, in terms of the fight, Battle of Britain, what a bloody one it was as well. I mean, if you're squeamish and you're watching on the smart TV, you're going to see some of the highlights a little bit later on. But it almost started where you thought that it was going to be a Fabio Wardley win, because he put Dubois on his backside 11 seconds in. He did again in the third round. But Dubois came back and smashed Wardley up.
Well, do you know when you watch a sport and you come away and you think, wow, that was brutal. And I don't know how Fabio Wardley got to the 11th round, because he was hit with some bombs. And Dubois, likewise, he took some really heavy punches as well. It was a brutal fight. I just hold my hands up to a pair of them and say, look, terrific effort on both parts, and there'll be a rematch of that one.
Well, apparently that's been activated.
Absolutely going to be a rematch.
I mean, you can let us know your thoughts on that.
I mean, honestly, Fabio Wardley, I don't know how he got to the 11th round, because round 6, he was getting hit by everything from Dubois.
Yeah.
And he's still 5 rounds later, it gets stopped at that time. But in between, he took so many heavy punches.
We're going to hear from our team up in Manchester a little bit later on in the show and get the fallout to that fight. But what an absolute cracker it was as well. Thoroughly entertaining. But Wardley looks like he's going to be in a world of pain today, that's for sure. Let's go back to what happened in the football yesterday. An interesting Saturday in the Premier League as the season draws to a close. Here's what went down live here on talkSPORT.
It's gone all the way in. It missed everybody and snuck in off the post, and Chelsea are level, and Enzo Fernandez has scored. Chelsea will be able to say they've snapped their losing run, but the Liverpool fans aren't happy. It's finished at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Chelsea 1.
Well, it's taken a while after those 2 goals in the first 5 minutes, but finally it's Brighton 3, Wolves 0. Yankuba Minter is the goal scorer.
It's now 10-man Fulham 0, 10-man Bournemouth 0. Joachim Andersen has been sent off, and it's another VAR check.
It's a strange decision from Andersen to dive in and make that kind of tackle.
Feeling around the stadium alike from Sunderland, that was more like it on home soil. It's not the win they wanted, but it was a very pleasing performance. On as even here then, Sunderland 0, Manchester United 0.
I think there's individual players now stand out like sore thumbs that are not going to be good enough moving forward if United are going to actually challenge for that Premier League title next season.
It's Fulham 0, Bournemouth 1, Ryan with the opener, and this is some goal.
There's every chance Bournemouth could be in the Champions League next season.
Omar Mamouche, only his second Premier League goal of the season, has sealed this one. 3 goals, 3 points surely for Manchester City. Means that City are 2 points behind Arsenal. Both have 3 to play.
Manchester City beat Brentford in a must-win game to keep the Premier League title race moving. 2 points now behind the league leaders Arsenal, who play West Ham at the London Stadium later today. 3 goals scored in the second half from Doku, Haaland and Mamouche. His goal came in injury time. After the game, Pep Guardiola says he's overall proud of his players and how they've performed this season.
It's an honor to be here. So I would like to write 20 points in front, but it's not the case. Against this team, Arsenal, is impossible. But it's an honor. So we are almost, I think, finished the second position again, minimum. So we are finally the FA Cup, Carabao Cup we won. So when the season is like that, a lot of new players and how they run, how they fight. 1-3 in Everton and keep going today again. I'm really pleased.
It took them to the second half to really start finding the back of the net then, Cass. But what did you make of that performance? And do you think it's putting some pressure on Arsenal ahead of today?
Well, I felt that I was, as I'm watching, I'm thinking Brentford were really good in the first half.
They were.
Caused them issues. City found it difficult to get through and break down Brentford. But then Doku, there's certain wingers. I was thinking of this on the way in. There's wingers that you know what they're going to do and it's hard to stop them. And that was Iron Robin at Chelsea coming in off his right side onto his left foot and bending him in. Mo Salah did that. And I would add in... And watching Doku go from a standing start as well. The best I've ever seen at doing that, standing start and getting accelerated and going past people, was Eden Hazard. He was brilliant here. It was his best asset. And Doku can do both. He can cut inside and he can literally stop a defender in front of him and then suddenly accelerate. And sometimes you come away and you think he holds onto the ball a little bit too long. But when he gets to doing what he's doing at the moment, he's nearly unplayable. When he's on, you just can't stop him. And what a rich vein of form he's in at the moment. He is unstoppable. And he was the difference yesterday. And he was the difference at Everton last Monday, with the type of goals he can get. But no one can seem to stop him cutting inside and going, I'll stick it in the top corner. Yeah. Does it brilliantly.
With 3 games to go then, Cass, Arsenal, of course, leading by 2 points. They've got a huge month ahead of them.
Yeah.
Do you think Man City can catch them? And do you think the result yesterday puts that a little bit more pressure on Arsenal today? Like we say, they've had a massive week. The momentum should be on their side.
Yeah.
But West Ham are fighting for their lives.
Well, of course. It's a huge game. I mean, this idea of West Ham being rolled over today, I just don't see. I said it yesterday. Arsenal are a better team. We know that. Where they are in the league tells you the difference between the two teams. But this is a one-off game, and City have done what they needed to do. I talked about a big victory when they beat Fulham, Arsenal, and they won 3-0, getting a statement victory with the goals as well. And City have done exactly the same yesterday. They beat a good Brentford team. They've beaten them 3-0. So that brings that goal difference down. If Arsenal make any slip up, City are there to pounce.
Do you think you're basing it on then history from games gone by that West Ham are good on these occasions? West Ham is the team, but as this current crop got that fight in them?
Yeah, they've shown that. This West Ham team, again, I said yesterday, West Ham have been beaten at home for 9 games.
Yeah, actually.
So,
you did say that.
This isn't a team that throws in the towel, and they're also fighting for their lives to stay in the Premier League. There's just not, can never be, even if it panned out Arsenal 1-2-0, this is never a given type of scenario. I think it's a massive day for football.
It is.
It really is today.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Whether it's here or north of the border, these are massive days.
Huge game.
And
huge games.
It's never so obvious of, that's just going to be the standard thing that's going to happen. Yeah. We've been surprised a lot. In sport, it just generally surprises us that how did that happen? And it does.
Yeah. Jason Cundy, Pep Guardiola channeled his inner Jason Cundy last night at the end of his press conference. If you've missed this, here we go.
Thank you, everyone.
Come on, you Ajax.
He's very comedic about it. Honestly, Pep makes me laugh. He just does.
It just reminded me so much of Cundy. Ajax.
But do you know his behaviour is very eccentric as well? Yeah. He just has got that in him, and suddenly
he's a genius. Anybody who is a genius is not normal.
Yeah.
They're not. They don't act normal. They don't think normally. Because they are so special. He's just the most special person, I think, in football. What a special guy. But that did tickle me. I said, come on, you Irons. And then he ducked out before anyone can question it. Listen, City fans, can you catch Arsenal? Arsenal fans, how are you feeling today? to go to the London Stadium.
Nervous they'll be.
Yeah,
Very
you will
nervous.
be. West Ham fans, where are you at? You can give us a call this morning. 03717 223344 is the number. Yeah, it's Sunday morning. It's 6:15, but we can chat it all through. 81089 if you would rather send a text message or give us a call. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT in partnership with Volkswagen Transporter. Search VW Transporter to find out more. Coming up next, let's discuss those boos at Anfield.
Real Madrid striker Kylian Mbappe, who has faced criticism from his own fans after taking a trip to Italy on a mega yacht with his partner. He's recovering from a hamstring injury he suffered on April the 24th and was given some days off last week. He arrived back in Madrid on Sunday, shortly before kick-off, when Madrid played away against Espanyol. Many fans thought Mbappe should not have taken a break and should have stuck with the team, going through a difficult time at this particular time. Alvaro Arbeloa said, well, in their free time, each player does what they see fit, and I don't get involved with that. Mbappe's representative said part of the criticism was based on an over-interpretation of elements related to a recovery period, strictly supervised by the club, without reflecting the reality of Kylian's commitment and the work that he puts in every day for the team. So that was Mbappe and Real Madrid. But then there's Liverpool. What was going on with them? Danny's old club. Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk had to defend some of his teammates who were criticised for being abroad last week on a day off as they headed into the Manchester United game, a game they ultimately lost by 3-2. It was put to Van Dijk that some of his teammates had gone on holiday last week. He says, I'm not sure it was a holiday, it was a city trip. But I think if you're one day off and you don't have many days off, then you decide what you want to do with your family. We're not kids. Everyone's an adult. I wish we had a couple more days off at times because I think it works both ways.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals and taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Good morning to you. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne and Tony Cascarino. A little bit of a U2.
Yeah.
Will I show.
Yeah. Well, I listened to a lot of UT over the years. U2, should I say. Yeah. Great. I mean, I'm lucky enough to meet Larry Mullen, who was the drummer of U2, because he used to follow Ireland, probably more than most. Bono would come now and again. I used to see him in the Shebahn Hotel. Do you know that in Dublin City Centre?
Yeah.
St Stephen's Green.
What's the place in Dublin all back in the day everyone went to? Was it Lily's or something? No.
Rumours. Lily Bordello's.
Was it Lily's? Yeah.
It's Lily Bordello's nightclub, yeah.
Did you used to frequent?
Yeah, there was Annabelle's.
Oh, yeah, Annabelle's I've heard of.
Lily Bordello's, and then there was Rumours. It was a bit more raw. And sort of just off of, I think that was on O'Connell Street, and then we went to down places like Strings, which was Leeson Street, which was really big, but that's gone. All the bars and sort of late night drinking, that's all gone there at Leeson Street. It's now more Temple Bar, that side of Dublin.
I mean, I'll say it for everyone. I love going to Dublin, right, and going to Temple Bar should be an experience, but you are talking rob a bank to go for 2 drinks there. It's
It never was that expensive. It
extortionate.
Well, see, Strings. Strings. It was a late bar really, but there was a number of them all on this one street called Leeson Street, and that was more expensive because it's in a nice part of Dublin. But that's all disappeared.
Yeah.
And Temple Bar then took over and become way more expensive.
There was a TikTok went up fairly recently of a couple of girls out in Dublin, and what they did is went to the different bars to get a cocktail or get a drink.
Yeah.
And what they did would then take the ice out of it to see how much was actually in there.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, Cass. I mean,
scandalous.
It is scandalous. Yeah. Actually, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't spend that money to go there.
No, I know.
Right outside the town instead of spending that money. By the way, it's Bono's birthday today. That's why we're playing U2. Can you guess how old he is?
Oh, Bono. He's definitely in his 60s. Yeah?
Yeah.
64.
66.
Oh, right, okay.
66. But yeah, we'll do some U2 across the show today. And we'll play them in and out of the breaks. Don't forget Virgin Radio for all the tunes if you want to swipe over on the talkSPORT app. And the legend himself, Chris Evans, is back tomorrow from 6:30 on Virgin Radio Breakfast. Let's look back on Liverpool yesterday against Chelsea. Ended their run of 6 consecutive Premier League defeats with a draw at Anfield, so a more positive performance, say, from Chelsea. But for the first time this season, loud boos at Anfield at full time, despite Liverpool not losing the game. Arne Slot spoke to talkSPORT about what Liverpool need to do to turn their fortunes around next season.
For us, it's very clear what we have to improve to get much more wins over the line. Now, on the other hand, we're not the only team that doesn't pick up the points as they were used to. So the times that the champion picks up 99 points are far behind us. That's also because the league has become so much stronger. But where we struggle is clear. I've already said 1 or 2 things during this interview. So when you are the better team, not able to convert that to goals, not enough this season. And there are a few other issues which are quite clear to me where we as a team, club, have to improve.
What do you think about that?
Well, I tried to talk about Dublin a bit longer just to get off the Liverpool subject. Very concerned as a fan. The booing at Anfield, it has happened before. It even happened last year with Trent, the booing. You know, he announced that he was going to go to Real Madrid. You saw the reaction of Liverpool fans. It reminds me a little bit of the Roy Hodgson era that came to an end. I mean, Roy was there, I think, just over 6 months, Roy, and it was a very difficult job for him. I mean, Anfield wasn't even, they had one sort of, say, demonstration, not against Roy, but they voted with their feet, Liverpool fans. About 10,000 didn't turn up for a home game, and they had a capacity less then, but 35,000 turned up. There's some great articles in the paper about that period of time. It's worrying. Last year was the summer, which you built aside for the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And in 6-7 months of this new era of a football team, it all has fallen apart. You know, whether that's Salah, Robertson going, and obviously the loss of Jota, and then just players that are clearly struggling at Anfield.
It's one of those things where he was so good last season. if Slot had his first season in charge and they finished 4th last season and were winning at a canter this season, you'd be going, wow.
No, but I think there's a big if there, because Shebahn, I promise you that if he'd have had the season they've had this year, the first time round, he wouldn't have got to the second year.
Even been 4th with 3 games to go?
He wouldn't have got to the second year.
Really?
I truly believe that. This season, it's not just about being 4th. Liverpool have been woeful. You know, their goals of 4 columns been dreadful compared to they've had a real, low scoring season. And this is now feeling that they're going to have to go big again next summer. They can't go like they did last year and spent 400 odd million. I know they got money in, but, the booing of Ngamoa coming off in substitutions, the booing's happening more regular at Liverpool now. And the performances, and look, I've said all along, I want Arne Slot to get to the end of the season and then Liverpool have to make a call. And I am concerned because it's not good. Liverpool fans are very unhappy of what's happening with their club at the minute.
But how much of the spend, how much of that responsibility is actually on Arne Slot?
Well, there's a lot of people involved in a recruitment. If you're going ahead and you're going really hard, which Liverpool did. Liverpool we were shocked last summer. We were all like, Liverpool have spent this and they've done this deal. They've got Ekitike in, they've got Isaac in, and, Gurkes coming in, and then Frimpong. And it was literally one after the other. It was like, have Liverpool just robbed about 100 banks? It was like, it was crazy the amount of buying they were doing. And now we're looking back and we're going, there needs a lot of work to be done in summer. The manager's now talking about all the work that needs to be done in the summer.
Do you, I mean, he's in a job and we've got to respect that. And actually finishing 4th in the table isn't the worst. At the end of the season, it isn't the worst considering all that's happened this season.
But they've been there a little bit 4th by default.
But do you think someone could come in at the end of this season and turn their fortunes around for next season? Or do you think Slot can do it?
I'm really concerned. The answer to that is I really don't know. I don't know if he can turn it around because that disconnect in a football club, which is clearly happening at Anfield. It's in front of you, what you're seeing on the pitch, the way the fans are reacting to substitutions, the way that they're reacting to performances, the way they're speaking. There's a massive disconnect at Liverpool at the moment. And a lot of it is involving Arne because he's the manager. The manager at Liverpool is always put on a very big pedestal, like Klopp was in a different way, and others. And when it falls apart, like the Roy Hodgson effect, and Roy that would have hurt Roy Hodgson at the time, but Liverpool fans don't normally, react this way very often.
Well, Liverpool fans, you can have your say this morning. Were you there yesterday? Were you booing? 03717 223344 is the number. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast. On the way next, we'll discuss some scathing post-match comments from Rob Edwards.
I'm going to go Friday after work pint, number 5, mate.
Number 5.
There he is. So do you want it? You ready?
Yeah, go on.
In number 5.
Number 5.
Friday after work pint. You've worked hard all week. You want to go there, just have that first pint. You've earned it.
Number 4.
A beer garden pint. This can happen any time of day.
Good pint.
Any time, any day of the week. Yeah. Saturday afternoon, meet the lads. Sunday afternoon.
Good pint.
Right, sun's got to be
Number 3.
Football pint. The football pint's in. You meet your lads, meeting up Saturday afternoon or Sunday, whatever it is. First pint, in you go. Hey, we're going to get a beer again.
Yeah.
Number 2.
The holiday pint. Mr. O'Hara wants that one. Yes. When you get there, you've done the journey. You've gone through everything you need to do. Passport, security checks, the journey. You get out, you smell, you feel a bit grubby. Don't care. You get on wherever you get to then you get to your destination. Bags get dropped. Sit there. you've earned this point.
Yeah, it's a good pint.
Good point.
That's my favourite.
There you go.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Airport. It's the only one, mate. Airport pint. It's the only one.
Lads.
You're there. It doesn't matter what time. Not with lads. No. Doesn't matter who you're with. If you're with me, 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 3, whatever it is, that's the point.
Do you know what's disappointing in this whole, ranking that we've done?
Have I missed something?
Yeah, well, your missus. There's not one pint that involves your missus. Not one.
I'm at the
Where's
airport.
Hannah in this?
I'm at the airport with her.
No, you're not. You're not at the airport with. You're with Razor Ruddock.
No, hold on.
You're not.
Hold on. Let me
Hannah's involved in none of these pints.
No, hold on. I'm at the airport with her, definitely. I'm definitely with a holiday pint. I'm definitely with her at football. I'm definitely not.
Good morning to you. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. We're live on the smart TV. If you're at home this morning, you want to turn us on, come and see us in the studio. You can watch on the YouTube channel as well, talkSPORT on YouTube. It's Shebahn Aherne, and for Marseille and Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino, I'm just watching back the highlights. Wardley Dubois.
Oh, it makes you think about boxers and anyone in the martial arts industry is just like, wow, things they have to do, and we all when we criticise them and did they have the heart or they have use the word bottle, and you're like, have you seen that fight last night? And you're like, these two guys have, and Dubois has been questioned about has he got the heart to go really deep, and well, yesterday him and Wardley went absolutely dug as deep as you can go.
I don't know if you've seen the clip of Don Charles slapping Daniel Dubois across the face.
No.
To straighten him up. Get in there. And who wins it afterwards? He proper gives him a slap off the chops. Just as he's going back in for the next round. And it's like you flipped the switch on him,
That's called old. I had a few sponge men who were a little bit like that in football, Shebahn, who literally get yourself sorted and give you a little bit of a...
Did you? Did you ever have an actual slap? Get a grip, women.
Get a grip sort of attitude. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You did, yeah?
Well, that's all, yeah. And not literally as hard as what you're talking about, but literally get a grip, son.
Look at this. Look, I'll show you. I know this doesn't work for TV if you're watching, but look. Whoa.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, it's
wise up.
It's just like a wake up. It's like, come on. Well, they know how good you are and what you're capable of. So then you get that wake up call, and it can be quite a shock. But yeah, I've had a few spongemen in my time that are pretty full on. Yeah, you think, oh, you wouldn't want to mess with them. Do you know what I mean?
8 o'clock comes round and Sam comes in. He goes, check yourself. Wake up, women. Some of your headlines you're waking up to today. Bolton beat Bradford 1-0 in the first leg of their League One playoff semi-final. Stockport defeated Stevenage 1-0 in their first semi earlier on. Both games live over on talkSPORT 2. Your home of the playoffs.
Did you see the goal?
Yeah.
Oh, how funny is the goal? It's a mad goal.
Yeah. Saracens scored 6 tries to win 41-26 over injury-hit Bristol Bears to boost their hopes of a top 4 place finish in the Gallagher Prem. And Sunderland and Manchester United shared the points, goalless draw at the Stadium of Light yesterday. After the game, United goalkeeper Cyril Lamons told talkSPORT about the importance of Michael Carrick's experiences as a player at Old Trafford.
If you don't know what it's like, I think it can be one of the biggest and the most, how you say it, people talk about it a lot, and I think he wants to take the burden on himself and keep it away from the team. He also knows what it is like to be a player here, so he knows what it's been like and wants to give us that experience. I can only say we can also feel it from the players, the calmness, the stability he gives to us, so we can shine in our opportunities. So I think that's a big one,
Yeah, it must be crucial to have somebody who knows the club so well and knows the pressure and the weight of wearing that Manchester United shirt. But Cass, the performance yesterday, that wasn't the best of Michael Carrick's tenure so far. It was a flat game. They've got Champions League. Is that a case of just focus on next season?
Well, I was shocked by the reaction to that result. Quite clearly, there's certain players that come in the team yesterday that probably wouldn't have been in it. I mean, Mason Mount's been out with injury probably a bit too often for the fans, but he came back in. Xerxes come back in. He's having a look. He's trying to establish exactly what he thinks about next season. And certain players like Casemiro didn't play yesterday, yeah?
Yep.
Wasn't available, unless he was on the subs bench. I don't know, but he didn't play. So Manchester United are safe in third place. They're 6 points clear of Liverpool. The third place, and there's a couple of games to go, Shebahn. Now it's about just getting through to the end of the season, checking over everything you need to think about. There'll be things that we don't even know that he's thinking in his head, Michael Carrick. He's done what he said on the tin to get them to Champions League football, and he's done it with ease. He hasn't just done it on the last day of the season, and it's like, celebrating after their last final victory. They've done this for the last few weeks. They've been in a great position.
Okay.
So, Villa in fifth can't catch Manchester United. So there's no need to get in this hysteria about, should he have the job or not? I think he's merited it. Whether the club have already made a decision on somebody else, I don't know. But what I do know, Michael Carrick has done an absolutely astonishing job from where they were.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'll take that. Like I say, the performance wasn't brilliant yesterday, but they've got Champions League football. He's got what he set out to do. In terms of Wolves, hopeless once again yesterday. Brighton boosted their hopes of European qualification, though, with that 3-0 win over already relegated Wolves. So it was headers from Jack Hinshelwood. Lewis Dunk put the game to bed in the first 5 minutes, and then Minta added a late third to move Brighton up to 7th in the Premier League. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Now, after the game, Wolves boss Rob Edwards lambasted the side's performance after the game.
We were still in our, I've said it in all the other ones, I might as well say in this one, we were still in our nice hotel for the first 5 minutes. Can't start a Premier League game like that. Obviously, from the kick-off, we got the throw-in. We don't play forward and play into Brighton's, unbelievable press. And then before we know it, we're 1-0 down. Not woken up, not clicked into any kind of gear, and defending for the second goal from the corner is, I've just watched it back now, it's shocking. People not doing the jobs and people in the zones not heading the ball. It's not good. We know I can accept losing a game against a team like this at the moment. We know they're light years ahead of us at the moment. They are. But in giving them a start like that, I can't accept that. I can't accept it. So we can be outplayed. We can be, be outdone by brilliant play, which they've got. They've got great players. But we start a game like that, I can't accept him.
How do you really feel, Rob? I mean, yeah, he's absolutely going to town on them there. Let's bring in Wolves fan Dave Azopardi to discuss this in a little bit more detail. A very good morning to you, Dave.
Morning, guys.
Hi,
Thanks for
Dave.
having me.
Yeah, your reaction to that, Dave? What Rob Edwards has said?
I think he's right. It's strange because with Rob, he's sort of tried to defend the players as much as he can over the last few weeks, and then there was even his pre-match press conference. There was like a switch in him that he was like almost trying to deflect things away from him. I actually think he's got his guard up now as a head coach because he took this job on in quite controversial circumstances, obviously, when he left Middlesbrough, probably with the premise that he was going to be our manager regardless of what division that we were in next season. It was even likely at the time that we probably would be relegated. But now I think he realises the fans are starting to turn on him. Last week against Sunderland, although we got a point there, it was quite a toxic atmosphere. I think he knew that. He went straight down the tunnel, which the fans didn't like. And then straight away on Friday for his pre-match presser, the guard was up. And then I think he's doing it again there yesterday. So, look, like I said, I don't think he's wrong, but it's just strange the timing of it. I think it's probably come a little bit too late. If Rob was this honest a few weeks ago, I think people would have been on side of him a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, look, the way you started the game, and where I'd agree with Rob is that, you go 2-0 down and there's two headers in the first 5 minutes where, people have to take responsibility on the pitch, and he's hugely disappointed. I also think he's probably, only from my experience as being a player, Dave, is that he might have had a number of conversations over the last week or two and letting players know what his intentions are for next season. And that looked like there was a few out there that had been given bad news to me.
Yeah, I think so. And I think ever since, it's frustrating because pre-international break, as you know, we went on a really healthy run of form. I think we'd lost, or we'd picked up the point against Arsenal, we'd beaten Villa, we'd beaten Liverpool, we were drawn to Brentford in the league, and that international break just killed all our momentum. And since I think the relegation was completely confirmed, the quality of the performance has just completely fallen off a cliff. Now, I don't know if it's some players... I don't really know, because for me, I would say players have probably still got the potential of transfer moves up for grabs. So why aren't you playing out your skin to try and potentially get a move? There's World Cup places still up for grabs for some of these players. So why aren't you playing well to try and get in those World Cup plans? So it's a strange situation, and I think it's just sort of tipped over the edge for Rob yesterday. And I think, unfortunately, in the world we're in with social media and so on, I mean, it's quite a toxic place right now. So Rob has burned a lot of bridges with some fans already. But after those comments yesterday, there were a large portion of fans that I saw saying he's completely right. Because ultimately, from minute one of this season, it's been this playing squad. Rob's only come in and inherited this playing squad. But for me, it sounds like, I think Rob means that, but I also think the club are wanting to back him and saying, you've got to let these fans know what the reality is here. And the interesting point is it's probably not so much common knowledge outside of the Wolves fan base. There's a fans forum on Tuesday, and Rob Edwards is meant to be there facing the fans. So that's going to be a really interesting night as well.
Look, when he got the job, you were basically down, really, wasn't you? How many points did you have on the board? A few? Couple?
Two.
2 points, was it? 2 points?
Yeah.
I mean, so he's the majority of the points he's managed to get. What you got now? You're on 18, aren't you? So you're on 16 points he's got as a manager in that during this season. But massive decisions. If you're a club and you've enticed him to come, you're enticing him to come with the idea of, you are going to be our manager in the Championship and you need to bring us back.
Do you think he will do that?
I think so at the moment. I don't think, like I said earlier, I think the fans have sort of given up. But I don't think it's all on Rob, really. Like I said already, the playing squad is done. And the difficulty is that you have a conversation with a Wolves fan in regards to the squad that we've inherited, or the squad that we've got at the moment. And a lot of the blame is put on Vitor Pereira and his right-hand man from the summer putting this squad together. And no one really gives the blame for Rob for that. So I think what it is the aggression and the Wolves fans being upset. They've got to find a blame for everything. Yeah. And normally it's the guy in the dugout that gets that blame. So I think I think he will be the manager for next season. But the issue is for Rob, he has very little credit in the bank with Wolves fans at the moment. So he has to hit the ground running from minute one of the Championship season next year.
That's interesting. We'll keep tabs then on that forum coming up in the week. Listen, Dave, thank you so much for your time this morning. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks, Dave. All the best.
See you soon. Cheers.
Wolves fan and podcaster Dave Azopardi there. And fair play, by the way, to Brighton. 3 goals again, 7th in the Premier League. Looking like they could get Champions League football. Possibly, it's just mad. Fair play. This is Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll get this morning's back pages of the newspapers.
Jason Cundy was alongside Jeremy Horror on the Sports Bar after the game. He said he can see Arsenal shutting PSG down in the final.
Teta will not allow a basketball match. He won't. He won't.
Is it going to be a tactically defence then?
No, it won't be tactically defence, but I think that Arsenal, they're measured. Arsenal control games. They don't. Now, Arsenal are brilliant at doing that. They can be at times dull to watch because of that, but in a one-off game, who cares? I think Luis Enrique would probably want it being more open affair. I don't think Arteta will allow it.
Not the game we were expecting last night. You pointed out there, I said over 4.5 goals. I did think they're a bit well done to PSG and Luis Enrique for shutting out the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that proved there's another side to them, right?
Yeah, they can dig in when they need to. I mean, it helps they've got wonderful footballers. And I guess when you get a goal so early after 3 minutes with that attacking front line, it doesn't make the job easier. But when you've got the pace of Kvaratskhelia and Dembele, Doué can run, you've got Vitinha in the middle of the park, it does help the fact that you could just sit in there and defend because of counter-attack, no one's catching you. You're being behind them. So, yeah, it's gonna be fascinating now to see what happens in the final. PSG was probably the team I didn't want. I'd prefer Bayern. But now it's PSG. You've got to go out there and put a performance in. It's going to be difficult. And I've said it before. I think Arsenal to win this fixture potentially may have to be perfect in terms of they may have to put in the best performance they've ever put in under Mikel Arteta in any competition.
Is that the only way you can see Arsenal winning, by playing the best they've ever played?
I think they have to think defensively. They have to be rock solid. No,
they are pretty much like that anyway.
Yeah, but there's still times you give it. Like if you give that sawed-off opportunity to Dembele, he ain't missing that.
No, you're right.
It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Marseille striker Tony Cascarino. This is my favourite U2 song. Play it loud, DJ James.
Yeah, I've heard this one. Yeah.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. No, some of them I always. Well, what's the one I was thinking of? Oh, it's gone. Don't worry.
Do you know, like when, because I don't really read into lyrics or anything like that, but I think this is like a great song for. It sums up feelings sometimes, you know.
Yeah,
like
well, he's done a few of them,
hasn't
he?
You're just stuck in a moment. You can't get out of it. It's like,
beautiful world.
Beautiful day.
Yeah, beautiful day. That was.
Jeez, you're Republic of Ireland. You don't know
I'm not
U2
fan.
from your
I'm not U2
to
fan.
you. You're miles off it today.
Because I'm not huge.
Miles off it.
That was the theme tune to
Beautiful Thing he sung.
It's a beautiful day.
The ITV version of Match of the Day had Beautiful Day as the theme tune. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Sweetest thing.
Sweetest Thing, that was it.
Yeah.
Sweetest Thing, Sam. That was the one. Thank you for saving me.
It's all right. Anytime.
Good morning, Bono, coming up on the show with us next.
No one knows what we're on about.
Yeah, after us today, people who do. Sean Custis and Henry Winter will bring you the Sunday edition. That's from 9 o'clock. Oh, Wrexham's Josh Windass among their guests today. Lovely jubbly. Max and Barry Denning bringing you the warm-up from 11. And then Sam Matterface is here with all the crew on Game Day Live. We're dotted all over the country with all of the goals as they go in. That's 1:30 today. Today's massive, by the way, in football. Cass mentioned this earlier on. It's a humongous day, so stay with us here on talkSPORT to keep across everything. Final word, phone
I like
in.
that word.
Humongous.
Humongous.
Gargantuan.
Yeah, oh, even bigger.
Imagine Pards here at 6:30. And then Trans Euro Express here at 9 o'clock. That'll have all the fallout for the El Clasico today as well. Right, let's do today's back pages with this man. Sam! Sam!
Here he is.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Right, are you depressed yet? What's the story? Because she's a week gone now.
Yes, no, she's a week gone. She's already wanted to come home, understandably, from her time in Alice Springs. Lots going on in Alice Springs at the moment.
Like what?
Well, not good things. There's been all sorts of stuff happening.
What did Alice do?
Worth checking the news. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, it's not good. There's been sort of riots outside the hospital and stuff.
Oh
like
no!
That,
So any particular reason?
Yeah, there's been some very. I don't want to go into it really, but there's been some pretty severe things happening in the community, and it's just led to some really nasty situations happening around the city centre. So not ideal for her as she returns.
Ideal for her first week
really.
back.
Yeah, first week back. So yeah, I can understand why she's been struggling a bit, but it's all good. We send her our best, don't we?
Morning, Sophie.
No, your love. You need to send your love.
Well, I said my love, obviously. Yeah.
I
said your love, Cass. I mean, well, you can if you want to. I'm sure she'd appreciate
there's
it.
history there.
Peace and love.
Yes, exactly that. Peace and love. Peace and love all around, everybody.
It's a beautiful thing.
Now, let's talk about your mate. Talking about love, Alison Rudd.
Alison, yeah.
You like Alison.
I get jealous of Alison. He talks about her more than he talks about me.
Yeah, I know, fellow Liverpool.
No, she's a great journalist.
She stirred the pot a little bit this morning with her Times column, saying it's time to rejoice, to stick Schadenfreude at the back of the cupboard and enjoy the fact that for the first time ever we have English teams in the finals of all 3 European competitions. Not the moment to ruminate on the financial power of clubs in the Champions League, to sneer at the merits of the Europa League, or wonder if it is necessary to have a Conference League. It just feels right this time around. Now, if you park I know it's difficult to do this when you work at talkSPORT, if you park your loyalties at the door, she's got a point, hasn't she? Because actually, we've been talking for ages about how many good clubs there are in the Premier League, how competitive the Premier League is, and yet on the European stage, we haven't really over years shown it. So this year maybe is a chance to show that the Premier League has got strength and depth, isn't it, Kat?
Yeah, well, it's a great achievement for Aston Villa, Palace and Arsenal, to make European finals. It's an incredible achievement. And it's actually not been really mentioned. When I read the column this morning, Alison made a really valid point that, this is a rare thing that Palace, obviously Villa and Arsenal have all made the final.
And the fact that Forest could have been there.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely incredible. We did speak about this on Friday. No matter what team you're for, what team you're against, it's amazing for English football.
Yes.
The fact that we're dominating, well, we are Scottish, but 3 finals. There are 3 finals featuring an English team. It's great for fans.
And not the same teams as well.
It's great for everything. Yeah. Yeah,
it's different teams, isn't it, in the finals? Chance of Palace to win a trophy, and Villa first time for a number of years. 44 years they haven't won a European trophy.
I did laugh in midweek. With the Arsenal talk of making the final, and then they're up against PSG, and of course PSG are the favourites. Blah blah blah. But I'm thinking, what an incredible achievement for Arsenal to get to the Champions League final.
Yeah. The first in 20 years.
And you can say their journey was slightly easier than other teams.
But they deserved the journey because they topped the group.
Exactly.
And didn't lose a game.
So they deserve that route to the final.
In fact, Alison says in her column here, it may be asking too much to expect Spurs fans to root for Arsenal in Budapest, but otherwise, do we really want to see the Gulf state-controlled Paris Saint-Germain emerge as a dominant force? Their football is breathtaking, but then given the riches at their disposal, it ought to be. Mikel Arteta has grafted since December 2019 to instill values and work rate commensurate with glory, whereas Luis Enrique has in fact has in effect walked into a classroom of geniuses and glowered. It's an English treble that we should all be dreaming of. So that's interesting, isn't it? You know, even the point that it's not sort of, you know, Man City, we know how successful they've been, but it's not a state-backed club that are in the final in the English point of view. It's a team that, you know, sort of had to work the way up a little bit.
But PSG are in an incredible position that they can entice and produce some of the great youngsters. The Parisian area is extraordinary. Some of the suburbs of Paris, the amount of players that have come out, top players, have come out from these suburbs of Paris is incredible.
By the way, see, on the subject of Paris, did you see the scenes after the game? In the city, in the town?
Well, it's not trouble.
Oh, my word.
Oh, no, it's a regular thing.
Because the number of people, because obviously Gabby was at the wind-up the day after they got to the final. I'm talking about the celebrations of Arsenal acting like they won it because they set off fireworks at the Emirates and blah, 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 blah. The next day, then, the amount of Arsenal fans who were like, are you going to focus on PSG? And then the way they celebrated, because they went to town as well, they really celebrated on the pitch, but then the aftermath, you know, after the game, spelling out in the streets, it's just carnage. It's absolute carnage. And then you look at English football and go, well, they weren't behaving like that. You know, they were, and fair play to them for that.
I lived in Paris for 2 years, and I could see that there was a lot of trouble within the city very often.
Yeah.
It happened way too often.
And I think then some people...
And when the Champions League final was in the Saint-Denis, which is just north of Paris, I did say it's a very dangerous place to, you know, there is a lot of gangs that turn up and do what they did to the Liverpool fans.
Yeah, and then I think that's Arsenal fans will say, well, why don't you direct that same passion of how people celebrate towards PSG? Well, I think it's because they're not English, they're not on our doorstep. You know, it is our duty to discuss everything here. Anyway, sorry, Sam, crack on.
Let's talk a little bit about this, very quickly, about this, the situation regarding LIV, because Rory McIlroy's been outspoken about it today in the paper.
He always has to be.
Yeah, he has. It's in the Mail. It's all over other papers. It's a big piece, big feature piece in the Times today as well. Masters champion Rory McIlroy took aim at LIV Golf's financial plight, but is not against players returning to the PGA Tour. He said, I think everyone knows my views on LIV and where it stands in the game of golf. I don't think I need to rehash any of that. It's never been for me. They're going to go and try and find alternative investment, whatever that may look like. But when one of the wealthiest sovereign wealth funds in the world thinks you're too expensive for them, that sort of says something. It's sort of, because I think they're pulling out, aren't they, the backing at the end of the year, or they're all in the process of pulling it out. Do you think it feels a bit like this has been a bit of a sorry episode, really, in the end, Cass?
Well, yeah. Well, look, obviously the direction of LIV was to explode and grow golf all around the world. They would argue that they didn't actually want to compete just against the PGA, but the PGA reacted to LIV, because then they upped their prize money like by 40% immediately, you know, and then suddenly all these bonuses and the top 40 players in America and the PGA would get added incentives as well. So it's actually paid dividends for the people who have stayed at the PGA, like McIlroy. And it's, look, there was obviously reasons we don't know, and I would imagine it's related to some of the stuff that's going on in the world, but LIV Golf has sort of had to pull its strings, or pull its purse back in, because it's about $6 billion they've invested.
The one thing, though, is they did say at the beginning that it would take 10 years before they even looked at making a profit.
Yeah.
It was something like that.
Yeah,
so to pull it as quickly.
After how long it's ended?
But it just shows you
like
how it's not making any money, that they've had to pull it sooner than expected. Sam, thank you very much. Sam Stevens there. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT in partnership with Volkswagen Transporter, working with you. Coming up for you on the show, we're going to look ahead to the Premier League action today. Massive game in the Premier League. Arsenal at the top, taking on West Ham, fighting for their lives. We'll do more on that next.
Let me apologise immediately if there's any smugness or glee from my co-host today. But you are used to Alex Crook by now. But Gabby Agbonlahor is also very happy. Put your cigar down. great performance. Well done. Congratulations.
Very much, thank you.
Do you reckon you could manage to be just a little bit humble because, you haven't won anything yet?
Yeah, we haven't won anything yet, but, Nottingham Forest fans, last Friday, the messages you were reading out, Sam, the callers, the direct messages on every possible social media platform I was getting, celebrating the fireworks. They had a concert after the game, only to get thumped on probably the most one-sided semi-final second leg you will ever see. Thumped. Couldn't get out of their own half. Light work for Aston Villa. Who's next?
I heard you having a go at the Arsenal fans this week, and Arsenal for having fireworks after they'd got through to the final in Budapest. I noticed, and I had pointed it out to you at least 3 times this week, that Villa have fireworks before every game, and they had fireworks before the semi-final last
fireworks,
night.
Mate. They're like sparklers that you have on your champagne when you're in a nightclub.
Might be on your champagne.
Yeah, they weren't fireworks. They're like little ones. What did the manager do after the game?
I don't know.
Emery?
It was definitely.
He clapped the fans for about 3 seconds and walked down the tunnel.
Okay, well, it was
Mikel
a champagne
Arteta
performance, wasn't it?
Was doing the Haymarket Arena around the stadium. They're doing a tour of the stadium.
He's quite used to getting to Europa League finals, so that's probably.
Oh, okay.
Is there not a small part of you that is worried that your legendary status is going to be diminished even further? Because surely you have to win something to be a legend at a football club.
I totally agree.
Who would have thought a sporting event's halftime show could have a bigger impact than the game itself? Well, the Super Bowl halftime show does exactly that. In 2024, Usher brought in an audience of 180 million worldwide, the biggest ever in the event's history. But how did singing and dancing get to be the centerpiece of America's biggest sporting event? The first edition of the Super Bowl was held in 1967, when the Green Bay Packers beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Los Angeles. Because of the sheer size of the event, organisers wanted to put on entertainment at halftime for the fans in the stadium. It was a display of marching bands, dancers and pure USA patriotism, and that was the theme that followed for years. In the 1980s, the Walt Disney Company got involved and we started seeing some interesting and questionable displays. But we got our first glimpse of halftime shows to come in '93, when none other than Michael Jackson stunned fans with his 15-minute medley of his own smash hits. When he walked out on stage, he had to wait for the crowd's cheers to die down for about 2 minutes before even starting his first song. Diana Ross, Gloria Estefan, Phil Collins all starred in their own shows, as did Aerosmith, who performed alongside NSYNC. Things got a little bit out of hand in 2004 when Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson produced perhaps the most famous or infamous wardrobe malfunction in history. Shows from the likes of Prince, Lady Gaga and Beyoncé are considered by critics as the best. To give you an idea of the scale of things, Rihanna's 2023 halftime show included roughly 800 people. These range from backing dancers to stage crew to camera operatives broadcasting to millions around the world. The whole stage for that show was built in roughly 8 minutes and was broken down and cleared away in the same time. The acts perform for free nowadays, even though the experts reckon it costs around $13 million to put on Rihanna's show. Artists know they'll rocket up the charts in the following weeks. Rihanna's average sales improved by 140% in the months following her performance. The Super Bowl halftime show will be a fixture in pop culture for years to come. So the question is, who next?
Good morning, it's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on a Sunday morning. It's the 10th of May. You're listening to talkSPORT, just gone 7 o'clock. It's Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea and Villa striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Live on talkSPORT, a 1-1 draw between Liverpool and Chelsea yesterday. The Liverpool fans letting their feelings be known at full time.
Chelsea will be able to say they've snapped their losing run, but the Liverpool fans aren't happy about the fact that they haven't put this game to bed when they had it in the palm of their hand after 20 minutes. Liverpool won, Chelsea won.
It was a convincing 3-0 win for Manchester City against Brentford to keep the pressure on league leaders Arsenal.
Omar Mamouche, only his second Premier League goal of the season, has sealed this one in injury time. 3 goals, 3 points surely for Manchester City. Manchester City 3, Brentford 0.
2 points in Arsenal play today, 4:30 at the London Stadium against West Ham, who are fighting to stay in the Premier League. Today is absolutely huge all over the country. We'll react to all of yesterday's games, including the playoff games in the EFL, and look ahead to what's to come up today. And fight of the year, or just a bloody mess? Daniel Dubois beats Fabio Wardley to become the WBO World Heavyweight Champion. It was live here on talkSPORT.
I had to pull out of the bag and rely on it and use my skills, and yeah, what a great fight, what a great battle, man. But I'm number one again.
If you haven't watched it yet, go and have a look. That is 2 men going at it, and it is a little bit gory as well. Pretty sure Fabio Wardley's cheek was coming at his nose at one point, but let's hope he's on the mend and recovering well. You can give us a call today, 03717 22 3344 81089. If you want to send us a text message. Spurs fans, are you cheating on the Arsenal today? You can let us know. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Good morning. My cabbie Tom, Arsenal Tom, who drives me in every morning, bless, massive Arsenal fan. He said, you know, I don't like doing any favours for Spurs, but we'll do it today if we have to. I'm sure they'll appreciate that. Let's focus on today up the road then in Scotland, shall we? Because yesterday, well, Hearts had the chance to move 6 points clear of Celtic in the Scottish Premiership title race after being held to a 1-1 draw against Motherwell at Fir Park. It was a good game there. Their lead at the top of the table stands at 4 points now ahead of Celtic. Celtic have Rangers in the Old Firm today at Parkhead at midday. 1985 was the last time the famous Scottish League title was lifted by a side other than Rangers or Celtic, and that was Sir Alex Ferguson's Aberdeen. Can Hearts be the first since then? My God, they are going close, aren't they? It is an incredible title race up there. We can get more on this now with Scottish football reporter Paul Mitchell. Good morning, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Good morning to you. How are you doing, guys?
Yeah, we're good, Paul. Got to reflect back on yesterday because Hearts getting a point, gaining a point, but is it points lost? I'm not so sure. I thought it was a really great performance. I think Motherwell were a really decent team, Paul.
Tony, you've got to put it into context. I mean, you know, Motherwell have damaged Celtic. They've beaten them this season. Motherwell have beaten Rangers and Ibrox this season. So Motherwell are a really difficult team. And Celtic have still got to play them. They'll play them on Wednesday night. I think that's going to be a cracker as well. So taken within context, a point against Motherwell, I know to some that might not sound great, but this Motherwell team, they've got 4 players in the Scottish Premiership Team of the Year. They are class to watch. They're a really good side. And Hearts, well, they've done hard work. You know, they've beaten Rangers, they've beaten Hibs in this split. So 7 points from 9. I think if you'd said to Derek McInnes, you'll emerge with that, he probably would have taken that. They've come through a couple of really tough games.
I mean, it could have been the 3 points for Motherwell as well. What did you think of this penalty decision? Should Hearts been given that penalty there? Explain that moment to us, please.
So Kizidis goes across to collect a short corner. He gets his foot stood upon. I think he makes the most of it. But this is where the whole debate, if it's your team, you want that as a penalty. If it's not your team, you don't. There was contact. The referee didn't give it. It was referred by Greg Aitken, the VAR. Steve McLean went across and had a look. And he said no. He decided to stand by his on-the-field decision, which we do not see very often. It's a very brave thing to do from a referee. If it's your team, you want that as a penalty kick.
I think it was a penalty, wasn't it, Paul? I mean, what did you think? I mean, I'm obviously hoping Celtic win, but I thought that was a penalty. It should have been a penalty to Hearts.
Yeah, in real time, I thought it was a penalty,
Right.
and watching the replays, it looked to me like a penalty.
Yeah, Derek not happy at all with the ref, was he, Derek McInnes?
Could have been. Paul, have you got a genius computer up in Scotland? Because how could you have fathomed out the final matches of the SPL like it's panning out?
Well, there's a little bit of controversy about that, Tony, because traditionally the team that is leading going into the split gets a home game to finish.
Right.
And the supercomputer was obviously unable to do that this time. And to add insult to injury, they then sent
Is the
Hearts
computer a
to
Celtic fan?
Park. You've got to think it might have just had a wee green and white day when it. Now, don't get me wrong; it's a horrendously difficult thing to do. You've got to try and balance the 19 home, 19 away.
Yep.
You're trying to balance, playing a team twice home and away. It's not easy, but I think Hearts felt they were just on the slight wrong end of that. But at the end of the day, they've got to play Celtic sometimes, so they'll just have to go for it.
And today, look, Rangers going to Parkhead. Obviously, with a very slim chance of still winning the SPL, but I can't think of a more dynamic sort of final Old Firm game ever.
It's brilliant.
It's brilliant, Tony. I mean, my favourite saying is this is the most important Old Firm game since the last one.
Yes.
Because that's usually what happens. There's always an angle. And I think one of the things that people have been overlooking slightly is the fact that Rangers still have got Champions League football to play for. Second place in Scotland gets you into the Champions League qualifiers. Third place doesn't. And, Rangers will want to have a look here. Rangers 4 points behind Celtic. If they can win today, that's a point. And arguably, Rangers have got the slightly easier running of the two teams. So they might fancy their chances. But to do that, I feel Rangers have got to win today.
And Danny Rowe needs that win as well because he's under a wee bit of pressure. Yes, he's done a good job, I think, since taking over at Ibrox. But at this stage of the season, you want to be keeping the pressure up there and still challenging for the title, which, as Cass mentioned, there's still slim chances that they're in it. But, I mean, it would be a huge boost for him today if he's to win at Parkhead.
It's amazing how football changes, isn't it? He came off the field at half-time at Tynecastle on Monday night, 1-0 up and looking like a genius. And 45 minutes later, because Rangers didn't react to the substitutions Hearts made, Hearts scored twice, all of a sudden he's now a bad manager again. It's such fine margins. I think, to me, I think Danny Rowe's done enough to say he should be there next season and should get, the chance to build his own squad. But it has turned against him somewhat.
Paul, tell us how you think the game will play out today. It's a hard one because, as you said earlier, the Old Firm is, as anything, is never predictable, is it?
You could take anything. I mean, bizarrely, Rangers are going for their third straight win at Celtic Park in the league for the first time since 1992 under Walter Smith. What has happened in the last two have been very interesting. Rangers have had to score 3 to win both games. You can see anything. I mean, do Rangers go out and play with the freedom that they might not have had if the league's over? And Danny Rowe says, go out and, let's give our rivals a real going here. Does Martin O'Neill set it up so well and get Celtic wound up so well that they come out so quickly? I mean, it's just a fascinating contest. You could paint this in any way that you wanted. I think the one thing that Celtic want to avoid, and that is a draw. I think they need all the 3 points today just to put that pressure on Hearts, because that game midweek against Motherwell is not a gimme for them. No. And Martin O'Neill will know that.
Yeah, last time we beat Rangers was 3-0 back in September 2024. Dies and Mida scoring the goals as well. I mean, I was at that game and it feels like it's been a tough season for Celtic, but we're at this stage, business end. How much of an influence do you think Martin O'Neill will have today and have an influence over these players between now and the end of the season?
It's interesting if you ask an awful lot of Hearts fans, for example, because they know, and it's not the best Celtic side we've ever seen. But that Martin O'Neill factor, I mean, a lot of fans up here, in that title race were thinking, what happens if Celtic keep Martin O'Neill after, you replace Brendan Rodgers and somehow they managed to appoint Wilfred Nancy, and we all know that went horribly wrong. I think if Celtic had kept Martin O'Neill, they were likely ahead at this point in this season. I think he is the X factor. But don't discount Derek McInnes in the Tynecastle dugout. He's a long-serving manager, over 600 games worth of experience, manager of the year up here in Scotland. He's got the nous as well. Do I want to see it go to a final day? No, because the nerves would be absolutely shredded all the way around. But I think it's going that way.
It'd be great to have all eyes on Scottish football as well if it does go to the final day as well. Paul, listen, you'll be busy. Have a good day today and we'll see how it turns out.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Take care of yourself.
Cheers, Paul.
Scottish football reporter Paul Mitchell there.
I like to do headlines.
Yeah.
I always have a bit of fun about headlines on the if a result happens. So if it's the finals fixture and Hearts don't manage it to win the title in the SPL, my first thought was the Lonely Hearts Club Band. Straight away.
Everyone trademark it. Cass said it first. Okay.
If they don't make it, I've always.
No, that's a good one. I like that. Or just Broken Heart.
Lonely Heart Club's Band. Derek McGuinness's Lonely Heart Club Band.
Hearts Broken.
Yeah. I mean, it's an easy one with Hearts, isn't it? Because of obviously.
Yeah, Hearts a good one, isn't it? Listen, unbelievable. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, albeit I'm bricking myself as well. Should be a great game today. Hopefully, all the updates coming for you here with Sam Matterface on Game Day Live on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll do our weekly top 5 this week. Our top 5 football scandals after Spygate with Southampton this week. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT in partnership with Volkswagen Transporter. Search VW Transporter to find out more. Content creator and Palace fan Ollie Thomas is with us this morning. A very good morning to you, Ollie. How are you?
Morning, Ollie.
Morning. I'm good. I'm a bit tired, as you can imagine, but I'm good. And thanks, Dean. You're right. We are the best fans in the world.
It's debatable, Ollie. I'm joking. I have a soft spot for Palace. My sister plays for Palace. They just got promoted, and fair play to them. Your manager. I mean, the fact that he is leaving and he might win a third trophy before he goes is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's obviously sad that he's going, but I think it could have turned a bit sour and did turn a bit sour at the start of the calendar year. And fair play to Steve Parish, who held his own and didn't sack him. And it's now kind of become a nice send-off. And I think everyone wants to win it for Glasner as well, rather than it being like a bitter goodbye, I suppose. I think we've channeled that departure really well. And yeah, I'm feeling confident. It's weird watching a Palace team that just repeatedly turns up in big games. Like, I'm just not used to it. Every single big game we've basically ever had under Glasner, we've turned up, played really well. So hopefully we can do it one more time.
Why do you think he's leaving the club? I'm trying to work it out myself. Because he must realise that
wasn't
Palace
guaranteed. I mean, they got rid of the best players and they didn't replace them. And he'd won trophies, and they still hadn't got that right. Would that be it, Ollie? Would you think he was frustrated with how the club has been run?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he basically did exactly the same thing when he was at Wolfsburg and Frankfurt. Like, the timelines are very similar in terms of he comes to a club, starts really well, does really well, and then falls out with the board. And he's been obviously very open about the fact that he didn't think we should have sold Eze, didn't think we should have sold Gahey, or at least when we sold them.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. Been taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Yes.
You like that one?
Streets of No Name. Good. Yeah, I like this one. I think this is off the album Joshua Tree.
It would be.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That's their big album. They had a good few hits on that one.
I mean, every tune on that album, I think, was a massive hit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Someone will argue that, but what was the song you were saying? Sweet Things.
Beautiful Day.
You listen to Weekend Sports. True, with Fabio Wardley and Dubois.
No, that's one of their songs.
Yeah.
Sandy Bloody Sun.
I get it.
Again.
I get
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I think I know you two better than you, and that's a first. Yeah, how you doing this morning? Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and Tony Cascarino. You can get involved with the show this morning. And it's time now for this, our top 5.
The talkSPORT Top 5 with the Volkswagen Transporter on a mission to change the game. Search VW Transporter.
I might just put you on the spot and do top 5 U2 songs. Yeah, it's time for our top 5 Volkswagen Transporter. Because of what happened with Spygate earlier on this week with Southampton and Middlesbrough, we've decided to go for scandals. Football scandals.
Yeah, and things that you could add into that. It also changed the effects on football, didn't
Exactly.
it? Some of the scandals.
Yeah.
You know, where should we start? We'll go from 5, yeah?
Let's go 5 to 1. Number 5.
Well, number 5 is the Frank Lampard disallowed goal against West Germany, which was 2010 World Cup. You could make a point that goal line technology was part of the reason for that particular goal, because it was clearly a goal.
Yeah.
And got disallowed. England eventually lost 4-1 in that game. But it was a game-changing moment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That goal. And I still remember the strike, because Lampard could hit a ball from distance, couldn't he? Could get a goal from 20, 25 yards. And wasn't given.
And then in comes goal line technology as a result of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, I mean,
It's a massissive change. I'm going to let you do number 4 because you know this better.
Number 4, I think, was huge worldwide. Luis Rubiales and Jenny Hermoso. We were just talking about the Women's World Cup in 2023, weren't we? With my sister being there. But this was the World Cup kiss scandal. After the women's team, Spain won the World Cup in England against the final. President of the Federation for Spanish Football, Luis Rubiales, then took Jenny Hermoso by the face, captain of Spain, and kissed her on the lips in the medal ceremony. She then came out later and said that kiss was not consensual. And Rubiales, I think, did his mum not go into like the chapel, and she went on strike in there, and it was just a huge scandal.
It was, yeah.
Huge scandal. In the end, he did lose his job. And yeah, I mean, everybody had an opinion on
that. Wasn't that long ago either, was it?
2023?
Yeah, 2023.
Yeah, very, very recently.
Yeah.
But also, I think that game as well, when you do watch, everyone had a difference of opinion on the kiss. You know, had a woman done that to a man done that to a woman. Either way, the kiss wasn't consensual, and she said that, but also his behaviour at that game as well. He was grabbing his crotch and acting like a nut job next to the prince and princess of Spain. It was... Oh, he acted a bit of a basket case, but he in the end lost his job. That was number 4.
Number 4. Number 3, this is a personal one, is a Thierry Henry handball against Ireland in Paris, which eliminated Ireland from the 2010 World Cup. Basically, that handball. And it's really hard when you talk about an absolute genius, which he was, Henry, brilliant footballer. And they won it by that 1-0. By a handball.
Yeah.
He clearly handballed. And the French Federation ended up paying Ireland €5 million. And John Delaney, who was head of the FAI in Ireland, was asked once about, his regrets. And he said, I should have asked for 10 million. Nothing to do with the result of Ireland losing.
Right.
But that they didn't get paid enough. So that was a bit of a weird reply to... they got €5 million. I think it's €5 million, and he asked for 10. He should have asked.
Number 2, this one kind of close to your heart, Cass. Tell us about this.
Yeah, well, it was a max fixing scandal in Marseille in '93, which when Marseille were Champions League winners at that particular time, and it all unravelled really quickly, Shebahn. I ended up at the club because of it.
Right.
So it was a big moment for me, because I never knew at that time that Marseille had got relegated, but they got relegated twice in that time, where they're obviously there was a lot of issues around the club, match fixing and blah blah blah.
So players were brought in to underperform. Was that the
well
done for in the end?
It was to do with Valencia, and that players have been paid off to not play as well, and it was a massive scandal in French football under Bernard Tapie, which eventually cost Marseille dearly, because by '94, when I joined, Marseille had gone down, been relegated.
Yeah.
And then we won the championship the next year. We had a great season, and we had to win it to stay in the division because they demoted us again. So it was 2 in 1. It was one of the biggest scandals in European football.
Yeah, no, that sounds carnage. And then at number 1, I mean, this has to be up there for, I would say, everyone.
Well, especially if you're English, yeah.
Hand of God,
Yeah.
1986, Maradona.
Peter Shilton, Maradona, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was an extraordinary moment because obviously Maradona in '86, they won the World Cup. And Maradona was the best player on the planet at that time. And to get eliminated in that way, where he literally leaps, and as we all know, we got the picture of his hand next to his head, and he just clips his fist and goes in the back of the net, and Shilton knows he's handballed it. But the rest of the, obviously the players in each team don't know.
Yeah.
But he said he didn't do it for quite a while. And then admitted he did.
But even the title, Hand of God.
Yeah, and the Hand of God.
Yeah. And
I don't ever think Maradona was really, it wasn't someone who had been affected so much by it, because you think that particular moment, yes, English fans were upset and all people, around the globe who weren't Argentinian, but because it was Maradona, he somehow got away with that.
Yeah.
It was a strange scenario how it developed, because he's still looked upon as one of the greatest players, if not the greatest player ever.
Yeah. Listen, all of you sending in your message just now, 81089. Here's Ryan just now. Manchester City's 115 charges.
Yeah.
Got to be up there with the number 1 scandal. What happened there? Also, Zinedine Zidane, the headbutt.
Oh, the headbutt, yeah.
That was just a wild moment in football, wasn't it? Somebody messaged in Tottenham's trophy cabinet. Very good.
Yeah.
81089. If we've missed any of these out, we're doing football scandals, because if you go sporting scandals,
there's loads of
we
others.
could be here till midnight. If you think you've missed any, 81089, your football scandals. That was all thanks to Volkswagen Transporter.
The talkSPORT Top 5 with the Volkswagen Transporter, on a mission to change the game. Search VW Transporter.
Coming up for you next, we'll talk to a Liverpool reporter whether Arne Slot's future is in jeopardy. It's the Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT. Good morning.
To join Arsenal was the biggest achievement in my career, but the way the things end up was a little bit not nasty. But at the end of the day, I'm happy. They are happy. They know, you know what, life goes on. If you ask me if I regret, I don't regret. But I'm happy also giving them something back, because at the end of the day, if I can't represent and defend my parents, I don't know who would do it for me. So it's kind of doing my job.
You're spot on, Emmanuel. I don't blame you at all. I would have done the same, mate.
Thank you.
Looking at the title race, Manchester City messing up against Everton. How do you think it's going to go? Who do you think will win it in the end?
Who do I think will win it? If you ask me today, I will still tell you that I think Man City will win it, but I would like Arsenal to win it, because it has been over a decade. They have been fighting for that even when I was there. We were fighting for it. Obviously, in April, then sometime in March and April, it's all over. And we drop points at Wigan, at Bolton, wherever you can call it. Then we saw the league sliding out of our hand. But this year, they're doing quite well. And the good thing is that defensively, they are very good. but now they have to win the last 3 games to win the league. And obviously, Man City again dropping points at Everton. They will come back stronger. They will manage with their manager, with the players, with the experienced team they had. They will do everything possible to win the last 3 games and wait for Arsenal to drop points so they can be champion. But trust me, it's not going to be an easy task for both of them. Let's see who win. But I wish, for the first time, I wish Arsenal wins it because they have been working towards this for so long time.
Still haven't found what I'm looking for.
How long have you been looking?
Only to be with you.
This guy, honestly. What time's your taxi coming? Move it forward.
Haven't found. Oh, this was played so often in the dressing room. This one.
This is
in the Republic of Ireland, yeah.
Yeah. You said
this is a Joshua tree as well. I think.
I think.
This is
of
definitely
the big hits
Joshua
were from
tree,
the
yeah.
Joshua tree, wasn't it?
No, Andy Townsend has been there loads of times to see them. He's got the Dublin. I think he's seen them all over the place. He might have even gone to America to see them. I'm not sure. I know he's seen them a lot.
I've seen them. I saw them at Hampden maybe about 17, 18 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was a brilliant night, I have to say.
Oh, they're a great live band. You can tell. They, if you even go back to Live Aid, when they came on, they were pretty special.
Yeah. Reason we're playing you two this morning, by the way, is because it's Bono's birthday. 66, we said, right?
Yeah, 66.
66 years old. So many great songs. Good morning. It's the Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT. Some of your headlines, by the way. Daniel Dubois survived 2 knockdowns to beat Fabio Wardley in the 11th round of a heavyweight classic to become 2-time world champion. It's gory looking stuff. If it doesn't sit well with you seeing blood and stuff, then maybe don't watch the highlights back. But it's an incredible fight. The guys are absolutely going at it. I've just seen a clip of Wardley at the end of the fight telling his mum, leaning over the ropes, I'm okay, because his face is so messed up. You should be worried sick. I mean, you do look at the images there and you think, oh, he doesn't look in a good state. But he says he's okay, and fair play to Daniel Dubois. I mean, what a win for him.
Two boxers. They served up something very unique and answered a lot of questions that people had questioned them about. But it was I'm thinking now, obviously, Shebahn, Fabio Wardley, how he's got to the 11th round, I don't know. Just don't know.
Yeah, more on that coming up. On the show later on today, Southampton boss Tonda Ekhtart walked out of his post-match press conference following the draw with Middlesbrough after being asked about the Spygate situation. Did he think he wasn't going to be asked about that? But did you not think that was going to come up?
Yeah, it's an obvious one.
Yeah.
You've got to be prepared for that one.
Yeah. Bournemouth extended their unbeaten run to 16 games with a 1-0 victory at Fulham, in which both teams had a player sent off. After the game, Cherry's boss Andoni Iraola says he wants the fans to enjoy the closing days of the Premier League season.
No, I think they have to enjoy it. It's true that still we need more points. We are not there. We would love to be there, but we are still not there. But I think you have to enjoy. We are in an incredible run of games. I think they are enjoying the season, and now my only thing is let's finish it with something. Let's finish it with a reward, no? So they can even enjoy it next season. Imagine with the traveling, with the planning. I think it's a lovely reward, but unluckily for us, we still don't have it.
Andoni Iraola there, 16 games in a row, Cass. I mean, why would he want to leave this club now?
Well, he's probably been offered something that's better. Unfortunately, it's like when you're a player. If you play brilliantly for a club at Bournemouth, like Semenya or others, you get, the vultures hanging over you and take you away to the bigger clubs.
So you think he's
manager and players
with somebody else? You think he's
I'd be amazed if his destination. I'm sure he knows where he's going because we've got Marco Silva in that position. Obviously, we don't quite know what the outcome is going to be, and you can obviously Oliver Glasner as well at Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Now, please don't tell me these guys don't know where they're going, and suddenly they're going to turn up. We're going to get an announcement. Jurgen Klopp. I was saying to Sam earlier, who's our producer, Jurgen Klopp. That announcement when it came out, he was leaving Liverpool. That was made in November, like 4 months. It was kept on hold for 4 months before it came out, and no one. Or seemingly no one knew. There obviously was a handful of people. But it's no different. These guys, I would imagine, would know exactly where their next destination is.
Now, you mentioned this, I want to say it was a couple of months ago, Cass, when Andoni said he was going to be leaving Bournemouth at the end of the season. That link ever so slightly to one of the owners at Liverpool. What's that?
Well, no, it's not the link. It's Richard Hughes brought him to, who's now the Liverpool. He's, he's head of recruitment or sporting director. I don't, exactly his role, Richard, but he was the guy that brought in, obviously, Andoni Iraola at Bournemouth. He'd done that negotiation. He was there. You have connections in football and people you deal with. He'd have dealt with the agent. He'd have worked with him. Now, I'm putting 2 and 2 and it's making 5, but it's not that unlikely that a club like Liverpool could look at, and Manchester United and others, he's done an incredible job at Bournemouth. Beyond belief. I look at Bournemouth and the way they play and the amount of talent that has just improved under him. This is the guy that couldn't buy a win when he first got the job. And since then, his teams have literally been on Champions League form since. And they're not too far off the Champions League spots now.
Jamie and Jason on the game day phone and last night were talking about either Michael Carrick or Andoni Iraola. Who do you want to see at Manchester United next season?
That's, I think Carrick has done enough to have the job. But boy, if they've already, in some ways had connections with Iraola, well, he's, I could see why it's not been announced.
But all of that said,
someone's going to get him. It's going to be a big one.
Xabi Alonso being available. Are we overlooking the obvious, thinking it might be possibly Iraola to Liverpool?
I don't know the answers to it,
I know,
Shebahn, but what I do know is that if you put the puzzle together or try to in your head, that sometimes some things are quite obvious. But if Richard Hughes has had that, billing of he brought him to Bournemouth, he knows what a good manager, because he's done all his work to get him to Bournemouth. He's seen, because Andoni Iraola wasn't one that, when he came, there was a lot of people, who is this guy really, or what has he done? And everyone had to check him up and, and Google him and find out exactly how good a manager he was. Now we know how good he is.
I mean, all of that said, we should remind ourselves that Arne Slot is the manager.
Job, yeah.
It is his job at Liverpool Football Club. But as we discussed earlier on, and then you hear the boos yesterday at Anfield, obviously he's under pressure. They won the title last season. This season has not been good enough.
No, it's been awful.
Considering the money that they spent, it's not worked out. Whereas Carrick was the interim manager. So what happens next season is well up for discussion.
Yeah, well, look, the only brief thing on this, Shebahn, is players like managers, they get moved on and they go elsewhere. That happens regularly. And players, you know, if they had a great time, they're taken to other clubs that are bigger and so supposedly better.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens in football.
Yeah, I mean, it was a draw yesterday for Chelsea against Liverpool. Chelsea taking the positives for the point, but for Liverpool fans, disappointing. We heard those boos at full time, and now once again questions are being asked about Arne Slot's future at the club. Despite the club effectively being guaranteed Champions League football next season, there's a bit of pressure on him. We can talk more about this now with writer from Liverpool.com, Matt Addison. A very good morning to you, Matt. I mean, where do you stand on things this morning?
Yeah, I mean, you said there's questions. I think that is absolutely fair. I think it wasn't just boos at full time. It was boos for the decision to take Rio and Gamoa off as well, which Arne Slot later said in his press conference was purely because he had cramp, he needed to come off. And I think it's understandable that you're trying to manage the minutes of such a young player, 17 years of age. Liverpool have been really careful with him. But I thought that was telling as well. I think if there's full belief behind the manager, the decisions that he makes, you probably don't hear those boos. And it's rare as well, I think, to hear that from Liverpool fans. You know, everybody in that ground is very knowledgeable and is very, you know, understanding of the situation. So for their patience to have been tested, I think that does paint a picture really of where the situation is at. Now, I can see a scenario where Arne Slot turns it round. I honestly can. Mm-hmm. But for a lot of Liverpool fans, it's definitely wearing thin. And I suppose the question is, if they stick with Arne Slot and then they start next season badly, we could be back to where we are now in terms of boos and difficulties. So, yeah, it's definitely one to watch, I think.
See, the thing is, Matt, and I was saying this earlier, that Liverpool last summer really built a side for the next 5 years. And what's happened since is that nearly everything, and there was obviously some sad stuff that's happened within that. You know, obviously, you know, you look at Jota and passing away, which was a terrible issue for Liverpool to deal with. But then you look at injuries to people like Ekatike. Isaac has been injured, and plus he hasn't hit the ground running at all. And it just feels like that transitional period of everybody coming in. Liverpool are back at start go. You know, they're actually starting from the beginning again.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's a big summer coming up for Liverpool. They've got a couple of positions in the squad that have to be addressed, which they've obviously spent a lot of money last summer, but I think there was an expectation really that they're going to have to change again. They're going to lose Mohamed Salah and Andy Robertson, which I think is a concern in terms of the experience and all of that kind of thing. I think that's something they've got to address in the summer and bring in players who can take on that mantle and help out with the leadership group and that kind of thing. But it's also a transition in terms of the way that they want to play. And I think that is the sticking point for a lot of Liverpool fans. It's not just a case of, is the way that Arne Slot wants to play, is that effective at the moment? Which I think you'd have to say 18 defeats this season, it's not quite worked yet. I think the question for a lot of people is, well, even if they get it right, is that the kind of football that they want to watch? There's inevitably been comparisons to Jurgen Klopp. They've kind of been delayed because Arne Slot won the league last year. Of course, that wasn't going to be discussed then, but it kind of feels like it is now. It's a bit of a situation on both of those fronts, really. I think they are still in a transition, and I think Liverpool did expect that, which is, you know, a big mitigation for Arne Slot. But yeah, to be at this point in the season and for Liverpool fans to have questions, I think is legitimate. It's just a case now of how they move forward and what decision they make.
Yeah.
Do you think anything other than a title charge next season is acceptable for Arne Slot?
I suppose not. I mean, if they were to go a long way in the Champions League or to win other trophies, I think that will play into it as well. But I think that has to be the expectation at Liverpool, not just because of the money that they've spent and things like that. But, you know, I do think that is realistic. I think this might surprise some people, but I think apart from Arsenal and Manchester City, Liverpool are the likeliest team to be able to challenge next season. I think Manchester United have had the benefit this season of not playing very many games. They went out of the domestic cups. They weren't in Europe. I think Liverpool have got the ability to take that next step if they get a couple of decisions right this season. But as I say, it just sort of feels a little bit precarious at the moment. If one or two things start to go wrong again at the start of next season, then suddenly Liverpool fans are probably not going to be in the best place. I don't want to use the word toxic, but it could sort of go down that route.
It can get that way. I mean, you hear those boos yesterday.
Yeah. No, it felt, and I said earlier, the Hodgson era, which was a very short-lived one, where it changed pretty dramatically. There's a lot of stuff in the papers about this as well today. Is a issue that Liverpool fans don't really normally react like this. That's the difference, Matt, for me. This is not something normal at Liverpool. You know, that the manager will get stick and then he needs to go, and it's just not that way. It's never been run, that club, in that manner.
No, and especially when it's 12 months since Liverpool had, you know, the best day of their lives, celebrating the league title. The scenes were unbelievable. That was the best day of most people inside that stadium's life. It was unbelievable. So Liverpool fans are not quick to turn on managers normally, as you say, Tony, but it is a situation where it's changed very, very quickly. And as I say, it could change back the other way very quickly. And football fans are very fickle. If Liverpool win 5 games at the start of next season and look different, Alexander Isak, I think it's fair to assume, will be completely different next season to this one.
Matt, just a very quick one on this. Isak, he comes on yesterday, and again, he looks so much off the pace, doesn't he? Now, we know his season's been blighted by injury, but he looks still very much off the pace.
Yeah, I mean, you'll know better than me, but I think, you know, players always say that if you miss pre-season, you're playing catch-up, and he's obviously been playing catch-up, then had a broken leg, then been playing catch-up again. Ekitike's injured now, so they can't even kind of rotate between the two. There's just a bit too much pressure on him physically, I think, to be able to keep up. But next season, I think it is a bit of a cliche. Next season, I think he could be like a new signing for Liverpool because he's played so little this season. We know how good he can be. If he can have a proper summer, I'd expect next season to be completely different.
Yeah.
Okay, Matt Addison from Liverpool.com. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thanks, Matt.
Guys.
Take care of yourself. I really hope he turns it around. I mean, we're talking about the quality of the league this season, Cass. I mean, teams have been brilliant, like Villa, like Brighton, like Brentford, like Bournemouth. You know, yet Liverpool are still finishing in 4th. Likely will finish in 4th. And, you know, again, we've mentioned it before, and some people don't like referring to it because the team haven't been performing well, but I think the Jota stuff must have really affected that whole team.
I think there's probably a list of 10 things, and that's right at the top of the list.
Exactly. And because, it's not on the pitch, some people go, well, you know, you shouldn't focus on that. I think you absolutely should, because everyone would be affected in the workplace by that. So let's hope they can turn it around. By the way, speaking of Liverpool fans, we were with Michael Owen, winner of the Ballon d'Or, on Wednesday. Myself and Gabby Agbonlahor up at his stables, Managerial stables. He spoke about his chat with Sir Alex Ferguson. He opened up about his life away from football, working with horses as well. Michael Owen on the talkSPORT Daily podcast is available for you now wherever you get your podcasts, but listen to it free on the talkSPORT app. It's the Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT in partnership with Volkswagen Transporter, working with you. Coming up next, we'll talk Nottingham Forest. How are fans feeling now the Europa League dream is over?
Let's not worry about other teams. I'm sorry, West Ham, not our problem. Okay, you lost 3-0 to Brentford. You've got 3 games. Go and beat Arsenal on the weekend. Do it yourself. Aston Villa, worry about Aston Villa. And the players, they took it easy. My daughter was there in the Holton. She's like, Dad, why is everyone walking? It was walking football from Aston Villa. But then when you see a performance like that, where they've put in 100% every player, you don't care about that. Up the Villa!
Up the Villa!
Up the Villa! Istanbul!
Do you want the Ange mask? Put the Ange mask on.
Gary's putting the Ange mask on. Up the Villa! Up the Villa! Up the European Villa! Istanbul! Istanbul! Let's go! Let's go, baby! Boys,
do as anyone see. Do as anyone see.
Yeah. Go on, Gary.
Let's set it up for Gabby.
Sorry. Has anyone seen Maximus Scott? Where are you, Max? We need some news. Robin Hood, the Prince of Thieves, Sherwood Forest, Friar Tuck. Where are you, Friar? The original boots scariest. Hooters! Hooters! Is Hooters closed? I used to open Hooters. Close Hooters! Shut it down! Matt Ford! Do us a favour, mate! Stuart Broad, where are you? Chris Wokes, better player. Where are you? Tricky Trees! Rock City! HB Sauce! Where are you? Notts! Forest!
And Big Age Marcus killed me! The Big Age Marcus killed me!
It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day.
Match of the day?
It's a beautiful day, yeah.
That was match of the day.
No, match of...
That was no. Yeah.
No, but the name of the song is It's a Beautiful Day.
ITV's version of match of the day.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Who was scoring the goal when it was played? Was it Shearer?
Oh.
Is that like the advert? Like the.
I can't remember.
Bergkamp, was it?
Was it Bergkamp?
Possibly.
They're both legends in their own right, aren't they?
Probably should have checked that before I start talking about it. Morning. It's the weekend.
No, you've got to do spontaneous. You can't look up everything and then get it right, can you?
7:51 here on Weekend Sports Breakfast. Shebahn Aherne Tony Cascarino. Some of your headlines. Marley Packer scored 4 tries as England's Red Roses scored 61-33 Women's Six Nations round 4 victory over Italy. Excuse me, to remain on course. Excuse me, a frog in my throat. Ribbit. Aston Villa face Burnley today at Turf Moor. Burnley's relegation confirmed. Villa will be staving off late pressure to retain the 5th Champions League spot. Unai Emery said this about their ambition in the Premier League this season.
We must again watch the league, how we are finishing in the league. And of course, the priority to achieve our objective is through the league. And in the league, we are not performing the last matches like more or less we were. The consistency is still to try to set.
Oh, just reflecting back on the other night, they were outstanding against Nottingham Forest into a final, sitting 5th in the Premier League. Brilliant season.
Yeah, look, the Villa have done fantastic. And that the other night reminded me of when we played against Inter Milan with Villa and we won 2-0 at Villa Park against a great Milan team at that time, Inter Milan team. But it was a great night. And the other night, I felt I've never seen Villa that hungry to win a game. They literally chased. And look, they did it last year, didn't they? When they played PSG at home. They were sensational, Villa, that night as well.
Well, Villa away to Burnley today, 2 o'clock kick-off. The update's coming on Game Day Live. How will Forest bounce back, though? They'll be feeling numb after what happened in the Europa League semi-final. Hearts broken for Forest fans and for the players. But they're looking for Premier League safety. They look all about safe, but they've got a big game today against Newcastle. We're looking ahead to this one with Forest fan and Garibaldi girl Ellie Mollison is with us. A very good morning, Ellie.
Ellie.
Good morning.
Ellie, look, we have to put this into perspective because, yes, Forest was second best against the Villa and Villa were tremendous. But Forest were off the back of 5 wins. You know, they'd gone and beaten Porto, the champions. Oh, sorry, going to be champions of Portuguese League, who are easily the best team in Portugal at the moment. You know, and then Sunderland battering them 5-0 away. You know, they've had some great results, Forest.
Yeah, see, I think Villa were very, very good, but also the reason the scoreline was so huge is because we were also very, very poor. But when you're a Forest fan, one thing you do know is we are quite good at bottling leads. And I won't bring up the past traumas, but I don't think many Forest fans went into that game today feeling like we were going to win it. I'd actually have felt more comfortable if we'd have lost the first leg.
Yeah. I mean, you were missing Morgan Gibbs-White. I mean, he was a huge miss for you. But they weren't at it. You know, I think Gabby had pointed it out the other week. It was like they had stage fright. It's like they realised actually we could be going into a final. Maybe we're not ready for that.
I don't think it's not that they're not ready. I think it's just a case of if you look across the season, we are quite, I mean, we won 3-0 away at Fenerbahce, and in the home leg, we nearly messed it up. We didn't, but we nearly did. And when you're coming against a side like Villa, you just don't have the time and the space to be able to have that sort of stage fright. I don't think it's because it was a final. I think it's because it was a second leg. And I know that sounds really silly, but again, when you're a Forest fan, we've been here before, so we know what it's like. And I don't even necessarily think that it was Morgan Gibbs-White being missing, because in that game against Chelsea, Morgan Gibbs-White came on for only 10 minutes before he got knocked out, bless him. But we won and we were phenomenal, and it was 3-1, but it was an absolute battering. Chelsea never at any point looked like they were getting back in the game. So I do just think genuinely this is just down to that sort of mental aspect. Villa Park is sort of a bogey stadium for us, so that was always difficult going into mentally. And I think that mentality of going in, oh, you're 1-0 ahead, you should do this, I think we just approached it in entirely the wrong way. What we should have done is just approached it as if it was 0-0 at the beginning and we wanted to win or draw, but instead we were holding on for right from the beginning, sitting deep, allowing them to apply pressure, allowing them in. And eventually we were going to concede. And then once we conceded, we crumbled. And our game plan didn't change at half time, which is what I was a little bit frustrated at. Once we went 1-0 down, we were never going to be able to just keep hanging on, particularly without Murillo and Milenkovic. So it was always going to be really difficult. So I just thought it was at half time, that's when we should have gone, okay, let's actually try and score, because it did feel like we were just sitting back. But you know what, at the end of the day, I can't critique too much, because Vitor Pereira's been brilliant. Look where he's got us. We're sitting a lot more comfortably to get us to that European semi-final. I mean, I never thought I would see it in my lifetime. And the fact that I've seen it so soon is just amazing. So I think a lot of us Forest fans are very disappointed that we didn't go out fighting, but at the same time, we've had an incredible run and it's just been an amazing season.
Good.
Well, look, today there's an opportunity. You can leapfrog Newcastle if you beat them today. So it's a big incentive to bounce back, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, just a few weeks ago, this was never really in question, was it? So it's, I think, a huge fixture now about Europa League. This can be our focus, and it will have to be our focus. I think we are pretty much safe, but that idea that we can leapfrog Newcastle, that should be all the motivation that we need. But again, another bogey side for us, randomly at home rather away. So I'm quite nervous. I think we are the better side. We are on minus that European semi-final. We are in much better form. So, but I also don't think Gibbs-White's going to be back. It looks like he might not be back for the rest of the season.
Well, and you saw his face the other day. You were like, oh, he's messed up. Listen, Ellie, thank you for coming on this morning. Good luck to you today, all right?
Cheers, Ellie.
Forest fan and Garibaldi girl, Ellie Mollison with you this morning. The updates on Forest Newcastle, part of Game Day Live with Sam Matterface from 1:30. Coming up next, we'll look back on last night's boxing with talkSPORT's very own Gareth A. Davies. Good morning.
The performances that you've seen from Chelsea. I mean, the Brighton game.
You can't defend what Chelsea have done.
Why have they given
Caicedo
an extra year?
You cannot defend what Chelsea have done. There is nothing positive to say about the way the club has behaved and the club has been run, the club have played this season. There is nothing positive.
You can have 3 or 4 maybe that you see in a team that are not doing it, but there's so many games this season I've seen Chelsea players, every single player is not running around. Every single player is not trying.
Gabby,
every single
the
player is not
statistics are
tracking
clear.
back.
They have been outrun in every single Premier League game. After 10 games, the alarm bells should be ringing.
And in fairness, you can moan about the way the club is run. You can moan about the model. You can moan about the revolving door of managers, which we were told, by the way, when they hired Graham Potter, they weren't going to be that club anymore. They've got worse. But there still has to be individual responsibility. There still has to be professional pride. And there isn't in that dressing room.
You got Fofana getting taken off in a recent game.
I have to say,
he's garbage.
There is he's got a history of falling out with everybody.
Incredible,
Bad signing. What? Signed him
Who signed
off the back of a long-term injury, and guess what happened? Yeah. He got injured.
He didn't play for nearly 2 years.
Who could have seen that coming?
But even look at all Chelsea's centre-half options. Listen, Chalobah, decent player, not at the level where Chelsea want to get to. Badiashile, not good enough. The Sassy, who's at West Ham on loan, not good enough. For
He's actually
not
played
good
quite
enough.
well for West Ham.
I know, but where Chelsea want to get to, all of those centre-halves, you're looking at it and saying, that's not a backline.
Especially
or
when you spent 2.5 billion quid.
How much do all those players
cost?
cost?
They signed a goalkeeper in Robert Sanchez, who Brighton made no real effort to keep.
Who would have thought a sporting event's halftime show could have a bigger impact than the game itself? Well, the Super Bowl halftime show does exactly that. In 2024, Usher brought in an audience of 180 million worldwide, the biggest ever in the event's history. But how did singing and dancing get to be the centerpiece of America's biggest sporting event? The first edition of the Super Bowl was held in 1967 when the Green Bay Packers beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Los Angeles. Because of the sheer size of the event, organisers wanted to put on entertainment at halftime for the fans in the stadium. It was a display of marching bands, dancers and pure USA patriotism, and that was the theme that followed for years. In the 1980s, the Walt Disney Company got involved and we started seeing some interesting and questionable displays. But we got our first glimpse of halftime shows to come in '93 when none other than Michael Jackson stunned fans with his 15-minute medley of his own smash hits. When he walked out on stage, he had to wait for the crowd's cheers to die down for about 2 minutes before even starting his first song. Diana Ross, Gloria Estefan, Phil Collins all starred in their own shows, as did Aerosmith, who performed alongside NSYNC. Things got a little bit out of hand in 2004 when Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson produced perhaps the most famous or infamous wardrobe malfunction in history. Shows from the likes of Prince, Lady Gaga and Beyoncé are considered by critics as the best. To give you an idea of the scale of things, Rihanna's 2023 halftime show included roughly 800 people. These ranged from backing dancers to stage crew to camera operatives broadcasting to millions around the world. The whole stage for that show was built in roughly 8 minutes and was broken down and cleared away in the same time. The acts perform for free nowadays, even though the experts reckon it costs around $13 million to put on Rihanna's show. Artists know they'll rocket up the charts in the following weeks. Rihanna's average sales improved by 140% in the months following her performance. The Super Bowl halftime show will be a fixture in pop culture for years to come. So the question is, who next?
Good morning, happy Sunday to you. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Millwall and Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino.
Big day tomorrow.
What's tomorrow?
Millwall versus Hull.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
An even bigger day today. I mean, we're one step at a time at the moment.
I know, got to get through today.
An absolute stormer ahead of us today, hopefully. Live on talkSPORT yesterday, though, it was a 1-1 draw between Liverpool and Chelsea. The Liverpool fans letting their feelings be known at full time.
Chelsea will be able to say they've snapped their losing run, but the Liverpool fans aren't happy about the fact that they haven't put this game to bed when they had it in the palm of their hand after 20 minutes. Liverpool won, Chelsea won.
In other news, it was a convincing 3-0 win for Manchester City against Brentford, keeping the pressure on league leaders Arsenal.
Omar Mamouche, only his second Premier League goal of the season, has sealed this one in injury time. 3 goals, 3 points surely for Manchester City. Manchester City 3, Brentford 0.
Yes, we will react to all of yesterday's games, including the playoff games in the EFL, as Cass mentioned there, in a huge game. For top and bottom in the Prem today, West Ham against Arsenal. Mikel Arteta shared what he wants to see to close out this season.
The same level of energy, hunger and desire that we've shown all season or more. We are closer and closer, and everything that we do know is going to matter to win it or not.
It's a massive game ahead. On paper, they should comfortably whoop West Ham, but West Ham are fighting for their lives. You can let us know how this is going to go today, Spurs fans. You cheating on the Arsenal today? 03717 223344 81089 if you want to get in touch. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Good morning.
Yeah.
Do you know any Spurs fans supporting Arsenal today?
Well, I've heard Jamie O'Hara's saying that he'll support, hasn't he?
Is he really?
He said that. He's supporting Arsenal today. So that's how painful it's got. Look, it's no given. Everyone's sort of given Spurs this victory as well, by the way, against Leeds tomorrow.
This is true.
I'm like, well...
Spurs' home form's awful.
Yeah, been awful.
Leeds are brilliant.
And yes, they were brilliant against Aston Villa in their victory last weekend, but this is not a given either for Spurs that they're going to just roll over Leeds. If there's anything to go by, I just watched Leeds away from home. Did you see them at Old Trafford and how they performed? Leeds are going to, and okay, they still had different results, losing to Chelsea in the Cup, but Leeds are a dangerous side.
I completely agree with you. Spurs Leeds tomorrow night, live here on talkSPORT, 8 o'clock kick-off for that one. Let's go back, though, to the boxing, the Battle of Britain last night. 2 of the best heavyweights in action. Daniel Dubois and Fabio Wardley slugged it out in Manchester for the WBO heavyweight title. And it went in the way of Daniel Dubois in the end as he became a 2-time world champion. Here's how it sounded for you live on talkSPORT.
2 men whose fights almost never see the final bell. This isn't a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Don't blink.
Wardley aims a big right hand, whistles over the shoulder. Oh, he's gone down! And Dubois on the canvas.
Both fights loading up. You hear the oohs and the ahs.
Down goes Dubois again for a second time. Great shot from Wardley.
Both fights simultaneously throw the right hand. Both connect. What a war we've got here.
Great shots from Dubois. How is Wardley taking all this?
He's got to stop it. He's got too much heart for his own good. It's going to get dangerous. He's taking a lot of clean shots.
Oh, that's it. That's got to be over.
Hardbuster stopped it. Right hand and 2 left hands. Wardley is bitterly disappointed, but it's a right decision. And new WBO heavyweight champion of the world, Triple D, Daniel Dynamite Dubois.
Great warrior, man. Love sharing the ring with Fabio.
Yeah.
Nobody could ever question him again, ever.
Wow. Lots of love and respect between those 2 absolute warriors last night. What a fight, what a performance, what a show up in Manchester. I mean, the way it started as well, Dubois put on his backside a couple of times. Then Don Charles slaps Dubois around the face, and get up, get back out there. And Dubois puts Wardley to bed in the end. But what a night it was. We can get more now with our man up there, our boxing correspondent, Gareth A. Davies. Gareth, are you entertained?
Oh, how can I not be? How could we not be? The record indoor crowd in an arena in the UK for a boxing match not be entertained last night. It was a brutal, epic and dramatic encounter. As you rightly say, Daniel Dubois put on his backside twice in the first and third rounds. It really was a heavyweight. Hagler Hearns, we always talk about the 7 minutes of mayhem of Hagler Hearns. being one of the standout fights of all time that had us on the edges of our seats all those years ago. Well, this was heavyweight Hagler Hearns for 4 rounds. Then Dubois kind of settled in amazingly, got to his feet, settled in and dismantled Fabio Wardley, who never, ever gives up the ghost, and probably should have been stopped by his corner or by referee Howard Foster a couple of rounds earlier. But seriously, guys, it was an incredible fight. It was brutal, savage, raw, and what we've come to expect from both of these men.
Well, I was going to say, Gav, after all the fights we all witnessed and the hype that went before it, it didn't disappoint. But I don't know how Fabio got through from round 6 and onwards, and I don't know even how he made it to 7, 8, 9, 10, and then eventually 11.
Yeah, he shipped some enormous punches from Daniel Dubois. He's arguably the biggest puncher, maybe in all of boxing, certainly in the heavyweight division right now. He hit so hard, and he got behind his ramrod jab, and he hit Fabio so many times with right hands. Then he started to use the uppercut to effect. But Fabio's problem, if you like, was that he was still scoring every now and again and had Daniel in trouble at times, and Daniel looked like he was fatiguing. So it was just an extraordinary fight to witness. Many of us, the critics of the sport, the analysts of the sport, didn't believe this would go beyond 6 rounds. There was very little feeling out process. As we mentioned, Daniel Dubois was down within seconds in the fight, caught by a kind of glancing blow on the top of the head, which does often dismay someone early in a fight. It's very easy to be knocked out by those punches early on. But they just went back and forth, and Fabio Wardley was always in the fight. He's not the greatest boxer in the world. We know he came into the sport 8 years ago with little or no amateur pedigree, and Daniel Dubois' skills won him the fight in the end. And as you heard at the end there, I was with Don Charles, I was with Daniel Dubois' father Stan, with Daniel himself, with Frank Warren in the ring afterwards, interviewing them all for talkSPORT. And this man cannot ever be called a quitter again either. He got up twice off the canvas in that first and third round to come and win the world title for the second time at the age of 28.
Yeah. Gav, I've got to ask you this because Daniel Dubois, he's won the fight, he's got the belt, but when he said at the end, love sharing the ring with Fabio, is that a sign of he has to have these war type of fights more than, a fighter that's like he when he fought Usyk, who's more considered and picks his punches and how he wants the fight to go? Is that one of Daniel's problems? Because Fabio was actually a great opponent for Daniel.
Yeah, stylistically he was, because he was able to pick him apart and outbox him. I think Daniel is a very unusual, he's a very enigmatic character. He's very difficult to sit down and interview deeply. You're not going to get a deep philosophical chat with him. He just has a way about him where he's just engaging on the surface with you. He doesn't go deep. I think it's a perfect opponent for him in Fabio Wardley. A different kind of opponent if he faces Moses Itauma, who's his kind of mandatory now in the WBO stakes. It was the World Boxing Organization last night. I think the thing is with Daniel, he grows. He's just become a father. There is question marks about, does he have the mental strength sometimes? I don't think they can question that anymore. Against Alexander Usyk twice, he was roundly beaten. Years ago against Joe Joyce, took a knee when he'd bruised or broken an orbital socket. I think he's an enigmatic character, and he will always be this way. As Shebahn rightly mentions, Don Charles was slapping him around the face just to get him there, to keep him focused. His father, Stan, is in the corner the whole time. This is a man who brought him up and homeschooled him in Stan. He's always there in the corner, barking orders, screaming at Daniel. This is Daniel. He's unusual. And as I joked with him afterwards, because he's been pilloried for these gatherings that he has. I mean, he at his home before he fights. It's because they like to try and keep his mind occupied, keep him ritualistic. I don't think, it's not for me to say where Daniel's things come from, but he's a very, very unusual character.
Yeah. Rematch, is there a chat of that clause being activated, Gareth?
Well, there is a rematch clause in this fight, Shebahn, but, given what both men went through on this kind of night, these fights take an awful lot out. For our entertainment, it's extraordinary, but as you both, we're startled by how much punishment Fabio Wardley. So he won't be back in the ring for 7-8 months at least. And if these guys do rematch, it will be, it's going to be early next year. It won't be this year, I doubt, because it takes so much out of them. I think of the fights with Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield. I think of that last fight between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. These encounters when both men go into the well, into the trenches, takes an awful lot out of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you mentioned that, because you see Wardley at the end of the fight leaning over to assure his mum I'm okay, because his face is mangled. You know, I mean, if you're not into the gore, don't watch it back, because but then also it was sheer entertainment and an incredible battle for both of them. It really was. Gareth, thank you very much for your time as usual this morning.
Cheers, Gareth. Cheers.
Take care of yourself. Our boxing correspondent there, Gareth A. Davies. I know.
Moses Atoma is
He's
one
the
that
one.
he could be easily in line because he's such a promising boxer. And again, massive puncher.
Yeah.
These heavyweights, they're scarily, freakily.
Want to see that now. But yeah, I hope Fabio Wardley is okay. You know.
Yeah, both fighters, obviously. Hopefully they'll
You're right.
get through this period and somehow get back into the training programs.
Yeah, but thank you to both of them for that fight. I mean, it was absolutely incredible. It really was. Stick with us. We're going to get the latest odds with Coral coming up. We're going to look ahead to that massive game at 4:30 today. West Ham host Arsenal in the Premier League. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT in partnership with Volkswagen Transporter. Search VW Transporter to find out more.
Real Madrid striker Kylian Mbappe, who has faced criticism from his own fans after taking a trip to Italy on a mega yacht with his partner. He's recovering from a hamstring injury he suffered on April the 24th and was given some days off last week. He arrived back in Madrid on Sunday, shortly before kickoff, when Madrid played away against Espanyol. Many fans thought Mbappe should not have taken a break and should have stuck with the team, going through a difficult time at this particular time. Alvaro Arbeloa said, well, in their free time, each player does what they see fit, and I don't get involved with that. Mbappe's representative said part of the criticism was based on an over-interpretation of elements related to a recovery period, strictly supervised by the club, without reflecting the reality of Kylian's commitment and the work that he puts in every day for the team. So that was Mbappe and Real Madrid. But then there's Liverpool. What was going on with them? Danny's old club. Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk had to defend some of his teammates who were criticised for being abroad last week on a day off as they headed into the Manchester United game, a game they ultimately lost by 3-2. It was put to Van Dijk that some of his teammates had gone on holiday last week. He says, I'm not sure it was a holiday, it was a city trip. But I think if you're one day off and you don't have many days off, then you decide what you want to do with your family. We're not kids. Everyone's an adult. I wish we had a couple more days off at times because I think it works both ways.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Cascarino.
That's the end of you too, is it?
Well, it's a different story entirely.
Oh, okay.
Good morning, Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino. Glenn Fry.
Right. Yeah.
Mexican authorities have announced a decision to end the school year more than a month earlier than planned because of the World Cup and a heat wave in the country. Oh, the kids would be thrilled, wouldn't they? My son would be buzzing if school finished a month early.
Yeah, so a month early would be June. So you'd be happy, would you?
Oh, no, I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't be happy.
They love going to school, don't they?
Yeah, my kids are happy going to school. They love going to school. But, like, if you can get off a month early...
Yeah. That's just going to be, more for you to try and find things to do all the time.
I wouldn't be happy with it, because then I need to juggle.
You're a bad mum, then.
Mum shamer. Scandalous. HR. Speaking of the World Cup, the latest episode of How to Win the World Cup has landed. This week it's Matt Ford, joined by comedian Maisie Adam, and they start getting into the world of wags. Wag royalty, Lizzie Cundy, she's part of the show. How to Win the World Cup, available now from your favourite podcast. All of the build-up you need to the World Cup is something like 30 days, right? 33 days, something like that, to the World Cup. Every game, of course, 104 of them from North America here on the talkSPORT network. So we're very much so looking forward to it. It's time now to get the latest odds with Coral.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Speaking of wags. Amy's not a wag, is she, Simon?
No, she's not. I wouldn't call her a wag. Yeah, she's upstairs in bed, actually.
Are you sitting on the floor?
Yeah, not listening.
Has she put you on the couch? What did you do?
I am actually sitting on the floor. It's nice and comfortable. It's blue skies here in York, and I thought I'd just sit on a cushion and chat to you. Now, listen, just a quick one. Glenn Frey, The Heat Is On. Do you know what movie from the 80s that was?
Yes. What's his chops? Tom Cruise? Top Gun?
No? You're thinking Tom
I was thinking of saying like Back to the Future or something like that, but no.
God, you're really close. This is great. Yeah,
Beverly Hills Cop?
Yes.
Sorry, I stole your thunder, Simon.
No, well done, though. Actually, it is I thought at first it might be a Top Gun song, and I thought, no, of course it wasn't. It was Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop, absolute classic. For the younger listeners, do go and watch it. 1984.
Back to the Future was Huey Lewis and the News, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. That was a great song and a great film. So watch that as well, listeners.
Thank you, Simon. And that's all we've got time for.
Yeah,
that's right.
Come on, Simon.
Massive day today, Simon.
Yeah, massive. West Ham obviously taking on Arsenal, as your beloved Arsenal.
Yes.
My beloved Arsenal. Yeah, and it's been a huge game for both clubs because it affects both ends of the table. Arsenal are 4-7 away from home, 4-1 West Ham at home, 3-1 the draw, and it's quite simple. West Ham at the moment are 1-4 to be relegated. It's 11-4 Spurs, so they've got to get points. At least a draw today will see those odds lengthen a bit for relegation. The Spurs play on Monday night, and Arsenal are 1-3 for the title after City's big win yesterday. 9-4 City. The goal difference now negligible. It's almost the same.
Just one.
Well, it's one, exactly.
Yeah.
And if Arsenal's able to draw today, suddenly it's advantage City, or getting very tight there. So I think, listen, it's very close. As an Arsenal fan, I'm nervous about today. I know, West Ham they've got Premier League status to fight for. They are at home. They scuppered us a couple of years ago in the league, actually, when they came back from 2-0 down. And so, yeah, I'm worried. But I know that if we can beat West Ham, it's bad news for West Ham in the relegation stakes. But it's certainly maybe the game that actually it sees us go on and win the Premier League title. So it's exciting. What do you think, John? Hope.
Well, look, Arsenal fans will be very nervous today. I mean, Tottenham fans will be nervous tomorrow. You got up in Scotland the SPL. I don't know if we should do that or carry on with the other Premier League games. You tell us.
Well, look, I mean, I think today, just looking quickly at the other Premier League games, Villa, I know you were chatting about them earlier, they're 4-7 away to Burnley. If they can win, it takes them into fourth place. I think they've got to still play City. I know that Brighton, Bournemouth and co would really love Villa to finish fifth and win the Europa League. So I think it opens up the opportunity for the sixth place team to go to the Champions League or something crazy like that. So maybe they'll be certainly cheering on Burnley to try and stop Villa, because it's very tight now between them and Liverpool for that fourth place. And Newcastle are favourites away to Forest 6-4, Forest 7-4, and Everton still in the chance with Europa League football. They are favourites against Palace Selhurst Park, who obviously will have one eye on the Conference League final. But yeah, Celtic Rangers. Have a quick look at this. Even money Celtic, 11-4 the draw. Rangers 5-2. After that draw yesterday with Motherwell, it's only, was it 4 points in it? If Celtic win this, they get to within a point of Hearts, and they're playing them next weekend at home, albeit they've got to play Motherwell during the week. So it's so exciting, SPFL. We still make Hearts favourites at 8-11 over Celtic, but very tight. Shebahn, I suppose it's taking it one step at a time. You've got to beat Rangers today.
Got to do it at home. It's a massive game. It always is. It's always as important every single time. But just to keep the pressure on, I've never wanted a title more than this one, kind of thing.
Why is that though? Because what? It's so tight.
Yeah, because it's so tight. Because Hearts have been brilliant. Because they've shaken up the league. But I still want to beat them. I still want Celtic to win. There's so much on it. Absolutely incredible. And you never know with Rangers. We've not had a win against them in 3 games. So last time we beat them was September last year. So there's a lot on this one. So yeah, you know whose side I'm on today.
Well, I do.
Simon, why is the draw? Did you say 5-2?
Yes, 5-2 the draw.
I can't see that. I can't see because Rangers have to win and Celtic have to win. I just can't see.
That's the thing. Champions League football is still on the line here.
Yeah,
Rangers, so they're going to be.
They're going to have to win.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. For lots of reasons.
Draw seems a very unlikely outcome in that game.
Yeah.
I suppose. Yeah. Although in fighting to both sides to win, it can end up a draw. But I know what you mean, Cass. I know. you know what I mean. They score one.
We've got the National League Rochdale against Boreham Wood, and we got the Derby trial at Leopardstown.
Yeah, I thought I'd chuck in this. Obviously, our friend John Hill will be. This is a huge game.
John.
Go on, John. Exactly. I think everybody, all the neutrals, would say justice would be that Rochdale were to win this game. But it's really tight because it's a one game shootout at Wembley. 8-13 Rochdale, 5-4 Boreham Wood. So not a lot in it, given there were 16 points between these teams in the actual league. And it's one of those things where it's either going to end today. John Hill and all those Rochdale fans on a high because they've gone up. And had a Wembley final and a trophy lift, which almost makes it better, makes it worth the pain of that last-minute goal against York. But if they were to get beaten by Boreham Wood, it'd be devastating, wouldn't it? So, I'm really crossing my hands. But Boreham Wood fans, good luck. This is what it's all about.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Derby trial, I should just mention very quickly, Aidan O'Brien, it was great to have you, Shebahn, with Gabby on Wednesday at Michael Owen's.
Thanks for having us. It was a lovely day.
Feedback was amazing. I spoke to Michael. He was amazed how many people were ringing him, tuning, watched it, listened to it.
Good.
And I think even the producers and everyone said it looked brilliantly with the actual sort of studio there. But Michael and Hugo then went on and had a couple of winners at Chester, so it was a great week for them. But the star was Aidan O'Brien, who won all 5 big races. And in today's Derby trial at Leopardstown, he's got the favourite Pierre Bonnard. And Pierre Bonnard is 4-5 to win the 340 today at Leopardstown. And he's currently the third favourite for the Derby. And Aidan O'Brien's got the first 4 in the betting. So if he was to win well today, he'd shorten up for that as well. So that's the main racing action today.
Looking forward to it. Simon, go and make Amy a nice cup of tea. Maybe breakfast in bed. Get those brownie points, yeah?
A cup of tea. I'm not going to go too far. Come on.
Okay, play it cool. Love
Cheers,
it. Simon Clare, thank you. Guys. See you soon. Take care of yourself. That was a look at the latest odds with Coral. 18+, begambleaware.org. And please gamble responsibly.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Coming up for you next, we'll discuss those championship playoffs and look ahead to a massive game in the Premier League this afternoon.
I'm going to go Friday after work pint, number 5, mate.
Number 5.
There he is. So do you want it? You ready?
Yeah, go on.
In number 5.
Number 5.
Friday after work pint. You've worked hard all week. You know, you want to go there, just have that first pint. You've earned it.
Number 4.
Beer garden pint. And this can happen any time of day.
Good pint.
Any time, any day of the week. Yeah. Saturday afternoon, meet the lads. Sunday afternoon.
Good pint.
Right, sun's got to be
Number 3.
Football pint. The football pint's in. You meet your lads, meeting up Saturday afternoon or Sunday, whatever it is. First pint, in you go. Hey, we're going to get a beer again.
Yeah.
Number 2.
The holiday pint. Mr. O'Hara wants that one.
Yeah.
When you get there, you've done the journey. You've gone through everything you need to do. Passport, security checks, the journey. You get out, you smell, you feel a bit grubby. Don't care. You get on the, wherever you get to then you get to your destination. Bags get dropped. Sit there. You've earned this pint.
Yeah, it's a good pint.
Good pint.
That's my favourite.
There you go.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Airport. It's the only one, mate. Airport pint. It's the only one. You're there. It doesn't matter what time. Not with lads. No. Doesn't matter who you're with. If you're with me, 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 3, whatever it is, that's the point.
Do you know what's disappointing in this whole, ranking that we've done?
Have I missed something?
Yeah, well, your missus. There's not one pint that involves your missus. Not one. Where's Hannah in this?
I'm at the airport with her.
No, you're not. You're not at the airport with her. You're with Razor Ruddock.
No, hold on.
Hold on.
Let me
Hannah's involved in none of these pints.
No, hold on. I'm at the airport with her, definitely. I'm definitely with a holiday pint. I'm definitely with her at football. I'm definitely not.
Actually forgot about this one.
Is it called One?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you work that out?
No, I know they say the word one in it, but I didn't know that it was called One.
Did you hear the Mary J. Blige version?
You've just literally ignored what I just said.
It is called One, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was.
All right, calm down. What I fight about it? Theo Satan.
What was you saying?
Did you hear Mary J. Blige's version of this song?
No.
I'd say it was better.
Would you? Or you're doing a cover to cover?
Yeah. Oh, cover to cover is good.
Yeah, cover to
Sam,
cover.
bank that for next week. Oh, he's not even listening.
No, we'll do it in the summer. Have cover to cover.
Cover.
Some good ones. Pick some cover to covers. Who's the best? Yeah.
Good morning. You listen to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and Tony Cascarino. Reason we're playing it. Bono is 66 today, so we've been doing a bit of U2 this morning. Virgin Radio. If you want the tunes today, swipe across on the talkSPORT app. And the legend himself, Chris Evans, is back tomorrow from 6:30 on Virgin Radio Breakfast and TFI Unplugged on Channel 4. He gets some good guests, doesn't he, Cass?
Oh, yeah, rightly so.
He's got Game of Thrones, Amelia Clark in next week.
Well, you're going to get big names if you're a big name anyway.
Yeah, this is true.
Comes hand in hand, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's why we can't get anyone on our show. Coming up for you on talkSPORT today. Speaking of big names, Wrexham's Josh Windass is going to be with Sean Custis and Henry Winter on the Sunday edition. That's at 9 o'clock, just following us. Max and Barry Glendinning bring you the warm-up from 11 o'clock. And all of the goals as they go in, Sam Matterface, Little Sam, and all his crew, Game Day Live from 1:30 with all of the goals all over the country today as they happen. It's a massive day today. Stay with talkSPORT. We'll keep you across absolutely everything. Final word with Madge and Pards at 6:30. And Trans Euro Express is here from 9 o'clock. They'll react to El Clasico and what goes down there. Interesting times with the 300 billion signatures on getting Mbappe out the club and losing to Barca. It's all going off there. But let's talk about the Championship, shall we? Yesterday's goalless draw between Borough and Southampton. And then, of course, Millwall and Hull was a goalless draw. 1-0 in the League One playoff games. All relative, a little bit snoozy fests. A little bit snoozy.
Yeah, it was dominated first half by Borough. Loads of possession. Had 17 created 17 chances, although the Southampton keeper didn't have to do too much. And both games ended up 0-0, didn't they? So they're well poised. So we'll see. Big games in the next few days, isn't there, between the two of them?
Yeah.
Obviously, Millwall tomorrow night against Hull.
Are you going?
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah, I'm waiting for talkSPORT.
For talkSPORT, yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it.
No, it's going to be great.
Can't wait.
We've spoken about it a number of times, and there's been articles on the importance of the atmosphere and at the Den, and it can be an intimidating place to go.
Yeah, well, I think any home side, if you take the game yesterday, Borough, the fans were really up for it. And I was up Middlesbrough when Millwall played there, and it was a cracking atmosphere that day as well. What's at stake creates the atmosphere, doesn't it?
Do you think the lack of goals in these first legs show that...
We're not going to say we should get rid of the playoffs, are you?
No. Best time ever. Do you think players are a wee bit nervous maybe to make mistakes?
Of course they are. You go away and you're trying to get something to take back to yours. Now the advantage is for Southampton and Millwall. Yeah. Is that enough to win the game? It's not a guarantee, but it gives you something. What's the worst thing that could happen? You get beat 3-0, 4-0, and you've got the second leg to play. You don't want that scenario. You're trying to be in the game going into the second leg at best. And if you end up nicking it, Millwall could have nicked it out a hole. They had a goal disallowed.
Yeah.
Could have nicked it. So that's exactly where you want to be.
Don't forget, talkSPORT is your home of the playoffs. We've got every single one of them for you coming up here on the talkSPORT network as usual. And it's time now for this.
Show me, you got to show me. Tell me all day that you
Is that
Caribbean?
Is it a bit Caribbean?
I don't know.
It's a Show Me talkSPORT, where we look back at some of the funny or controversial moments from the past week here on your beloved talkSPORT. First up, Jamie and Jason on the game day phone-in last night were left wondering whether they were talking to AI or a caller.
Listen, are you telling me that Declan Rice is getting the best Arsenal team ever in the last 30 years, he gets in that team? Is he better than Patrick Vieira?
Without a doubt.
Okay. Right.
Do you watch the game with your eyes and your head, or do you read on Twitter?
Is this AI?
Yeah.
Is this guy AI?
Yeah, it does.
It's AI.
It does feel a little bit like we're talking.
It feels like I'm talking to a robot.
Julian?
Hello.
Is your name Julian?
Yeah.
How many traffic lights can you see?
Not enough.
How many motorcycles?
How many motorcycles in this picture, Julian?
You just sound a bit AI.
Yeah, it's funny. Very funny.
We'll all be replaced by AI in no time.
Yeah, everybody.
Sports Bar AI edition should be fun. Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara back on the Sports Bar tomorrow from 10 o'clock here on talkSPORT, reacting to all of today's game. And then, of course, Spurs in action tomorrow night as well, live here on talkSPORT, hosting Leeds, 8 o'clock kickoff. So, best place for Jamie to be after that, on the sports bar.
Yes.
That's perfect.
That'll be some sports bar tomorrow night.
Yeah, it will be. Oh, gosh, he's going to be in some neck, isn't he?
Mind you, obviously Alan Pardew is on as well, isn't he, with Majestic?
He's on
tonight. That's going to be one as well. You think about it, obviously the link there, West Ham with Alan and Majestic, Spurs.
Yeah.
All the build up and being nervous after the West Ham result.
It's just such a huge day, isn't it? It's a great day. Fiery Fridays, by the way. Adrian Durham had this to say about Phil Foden's new contract situation at Manchester City.
What is the next step for Phil Foden? The next step isn't signing a new contract at Manchester City for more of the same. I do not understand it at all. What's going on in his mind?
What do you think's the right move for Phil Foden?
Well, he's got to have his heart in it, and obviously he's a City fan, so if he really believes... The only thing I hope Phil comes to terms with, that he might be on the bench again, and that's the reason why you have to sometimes leave a football club, is if he's going to be a bit part player, because, look, recent months he has been a bit part player for City, and you look in the emergence of Shirky, you know that he's going to get the number one slot for quite a while. So I don't quite know. Phil might have to break his own heart and leave the football club somewhere along the way, because if they've done this new contract just purely on getting the biggest fee they can for Phil Foden, because Phil's got to play. You know, he's lost his England place, you know, in recent months. So over the last 18 months, he's really sort of fallen down the ladder, hasn't he, the pecking order. So only Phil would know. But his love is for City. He's a fan.
Yeah.
So he always wants to believe that one day he will be back into that team and playing regular.
I think he will be. I really do. I mean, you see him last night in the game. You know, he gets a chance, he just misses it. You know, one goal and everyone changes their attitude all of a sudden again. Towards them. By the way, talkSPORT Daily Podcast is available for you every morning on the talkSPORT app, and also talkSPORT Breakfast on Friday. Dean Saunders was here. We celebrated Sir David Attenborough's 100th birthday with a fitting impression of the great man.
It's finished at Sunderland. Man United have done all they can. That Rooney goal was enough for the 3 points. Man City are still alive. Balotelli, Aguero.
How does it end?
I swear, you'll never see anything like this ever again. So watch it. Drink it in.
Oh, I quite liked Dino's impression of Sir David.
I don't know how his mind works. I don't. Honestly. Hey, what did he call me with my big ears? What did he say?
He said, we were talking about the earpieces that we have to
Yeah.
He said, they're a bit of a footer. And I said, I have to put Cass's in his ear, like multiple times on the weekend. And he went, and that guy's got ears like pork chops. Said, they're not that nice.
Oh, I'll take it.
Yeah.
But I always say the same thing. Whenever he's on, he does make me chuckle. Yes, he really does.
He's an absolute giggle. But yeah, how his brain works, we will never, ever know. Breakfast is back tomorrow, by the way. talkSPORT Breakfast with Jeff Stelling and Gabby Agbonlahor. And then wait for it, this will throw you. It's going to be Andy Goldstein from Tuesday through to Friday with Gabby Agbonlahor next week on talkSPORT Breakfast. And Rory Jennings is going to be on Drive with talkSPORT's Darren Bent. Speaking of which, Benty will be with us next.
Jason Cunningham was alongside Jeremy O'Hara on the Sports Bar after the game. He said he can see Arsenal shutting PSG down in the final.
Teta will not allow a basketball match. He won't. He won't.
Was it going to be a tactically defence then?
No, it won't be tactically defence, but I think that Arsenal, they're measured. Arsenal control games. They don't. Now, Arsenal are brilliant at doing that. They can be at times dull to watch because of that, but in a one-off game, who cares? I think Luis Enrique would probably want it being more open affair. I don't think Arteta will allow it.
Not the game we were expecting last night. You pointed out there, I said over 4.5 goals. I did think they're a bit well done to PSG and Luis Enrique for shutting out the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that proved there's another side to them, right?
Yeah, they can dig in when they need to. I mean, it helps they've got wonderful footballers. And I guess when you get a goal so early after 3 minutes with that attacking front line, it doesn't make the job easier. But when you've got the pace of Kvaratskhelia and Dembele, Doué can run, you've got Vitinha in the middle of the park, it does help the fact that you could just sit in there and defend because of the counter-attack, no one's catching you. You're being behind them. So, yeah, it's gonna be fascinating now to see what happens in the final. PSG was probably the team I didn't want. I'd prefer Bayern. But now it's PSG. You've got to go out there and put a performance in. It's going to be difficult. And I've said it before. I think Arsenal to win this fixture potentially may have to be perfect in terms of they may have to put in the best performance they've ever put in under Mikel Arteta in any competition.
Is that the only way you can see Arsenal winning, by playing the best they've ever played?
I think they have to think defensively. They have to be rock solid. No,
they are pretty much like that anyway.
Yeah, but there's still times you give it. Like if you give that sawed-off opportunity to Dembele, he ain't missing that.
No, you're right.
Listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and U2's biggest fan, Tony Cascarino.
I'm not. I appreciate their music. They're a really good band. I mean, they've been so successful, Shebahn. I mean, they've had hotels in Ireland and just bought up and, created a massive empire of business that Bono has done with the U2 guys.
Did you ever hear that story? I'm sure it was on Graham Norton on the red chair. You know, the famous red chair story where you...
Yeah.
Tell your story, whatever. Where there was a group of women in a hotel having dinner in Dublin, and Bono was there with his friend, and they were all like fangirling, went over, got a picture, whatever, like that, with Bono, and this guy took a picture for them who was with Bono, and then the ladies stood up then to leave and pay their bill, and
he'd done it.
The guy at the restaurant said, "Oh, it's already been covered." And they said, "Oh my God, Bono bought us dinner." And they were like, "No, it was the guy he was with." And they were like, "Who was that?" It was Bruce Springsteen.
That's a great story.
I'm sure it was on Graham Norton or something like that.
Do you feel like if you get to a stage when if you're really that famous at times, you feel like you have to pay something for someone?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
I think so. Yeah.
You got
Yeah, got to. When will you go get me some? Breakfast next week, maybe?
Yeah, I'll get a breakfast.
Happy birthday, Bono, by the way, 66 today. So we've been playing his tunes all morning here on the Weekend Sports Breakfast, Virgin Radio. If you fancy some music today, swipe across on the talkSPORT app. By the way, some news for you. Barcelona will win La Liga if they defeat Real Madrid in El Clasico today. Trans Euro Express keeping you across it all from 9 o'clock here on talkSPORT tonight. Speaking of European football, Slavia Prague chairman Joroslav Čurić, says the club will impose lifetime bans on these fans who invaded the pitch when they were minutes from defeating the city's rival Sparta and winning the league. I don't know if you've seen this. Unbelievable scenes online. Just search this on social media, Slavia Prague, and you will see these scenes of this pitch invasion. It is chaos. Like chaos. You see the keeper on the floor trying to... I think his eyes look like he's had his eyes damaged. He's on the floor. He can't see anything. They've all run on with their flares and whatnot. It's just absolute chaos. And that's doing the rounds on social media this morning. But let's focus on what's coming up today in the Premier League. West Ham take on Arsenal. The Hammers could do it with a win to help their fight against relegation. 18th in the table, just 1 point behind fellow strugglers Tottenham in the standings. It's a massive game, Cass. As tough as it seems, though, should we expect some fight here from West Ham?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think
it's a given. They're in front of their own support. It'll be rocking at the London Stadium. It really will. And I know that people question the atmosphere sometimes, but I don't imagine that today. It'll be full on.
Well, yesterday, after Manchester City's win, 3-0 over Brentford, Pep Guardiola went to his press conference as usual after, and just before he snuck out the door, he had this message.
Thank you, everyone.
Come on, you Irons.
Snuck off out of there. Couldn't be asked about it again, so we know whose side he's on. Very pleased to say is now with us now, former Premier League striker and talkSPORT presenter, Darren Bent. Good morning, Benty.
Hi, Darren.
Morning, guys. How are we, all right?
Yeah, we're good. We're both laughing at the Come On You Irons. His fists up. Great stuff. Pep doing it in like a 2-second, then running off.
Yeah, it was actually quite good to see. Obviously, a little bit of a humour from Pep, and listen, he understands that the job at hand. Obviously, they did their job yesterday, beating Brentford quite comfortably in the second half. Although I thought Brentford started the second half really well. It's now over to Arsenal to get their job done now.
Yeah, Darren, tell us how you're feeling. You're an Arsenal fan going into the game. They've off the back of, when they got beaten at City, you felt like really a lot of pressure was growing on the team. Yet they've responded brilliantly, Darren.
Do you know what they have? They really have, because there was a period where it's like a mix of emotions, because there was a period where I thought, do you know what? I think the wheels are firmly coming off here, and you weren't quite sure what to expect. But then it felt like once they beat Atletico, and then there was that period where Man City drew with Everton. I think it was last week.
Yeah.
I think the optimism, it kind of grew again. Everyone thought, do you know what? It's back in our hands. And I think everyone really felt quite confident about it. Now, I think the result yesterday for City, I think Arsenal fans are still confident. Well, I certainly am. But it was a little bit of a reminder that City aren't going away. I think too many people thought that, well, City now all of a sudden, after Everton result, that might be it. They'll drop points left, right and centre. I just don't expect Manchester City to do that. So I expect Arsenal to win today, but I don't think it'll be easy.
Well, the thing is, Benty, is that West Ham have to win as well. A draw is not going to get them out of trouble, obviously, because Spurs play tomorrow night against Leeds. But both teams, I think it's pretty clear. If it's a draw, obviously Arsenal then have only got a 1-goal advantage. So goal difference is really on the table if that was the case.
Do you know what it is, Kaz, right? And also as well, when you think about... I thought when West Ham, after the West Ham result last weekend where they got absolutely battered and they weren't at their best at all, although first half getting an unfortunate hit in the post 3 times, I just felt, well, West Ham today, they can't park the bus because of the goal difference as well, +10 in Spurs' favour.
Yeah.
I just thought, you know what, they can't afford to park the bus. And a point probably for West Ham is not enough. So although for Arsenal you don't want a point, it's not the worst result in the world. But for West Ham, it's almost like, well, they need more than that. So I think that may suit Arsenal. They're going to have to open up. Maybe there's a few more spaces to exploit. And the fact that now Arsenal have got Saka playing back at the level that we expect from him, I think Arsenal are in a really good shape as they go and get 3 points at West Ham. I really do.
Can I ask you, Darren, about the psychology of it for the Arsenal players as well? I mean, it's been such a huge week for them, a historical week, getting into the Champions League final. They're on the cusp of winning that. They're on the cusp of winning the Premier League. How do you get up? How do you get yourself all up after that to play West Ham?
Well, I think you have to, because I think West Ham's still part of this whole trying to get it over the line in terms of the league. And I think if you ask most Arsenal fans, I think the league was always the priority, because it's been over 20 years since they last won the Premier League, and because you've finished second 3 times in a row, and you've been top of the table for such a superior amount of time, it just feels like even if you won the Champions League and not the league, yes, it'd be an unbelievable achievement to win the Champions League because you've never won it, but there would still be that kind of, well, look what happened with the league again. You've bottled the league and you've allowed Manchester City to come and get it. So I almost feel like still, for the Arsenal players, the Premier League is still the priority. So I think they'll approach this probably the same way they've approached most Premier League games this season, that it's a must-win because, as I said, like with Pep and this group of Manchester City players, they're just serial winners. So when I look over at their squad, I don't see any panic or any pressure. I just feel like they take each game as it comes and they get the result. And for Arsenal, it's about them. Can they beat West Ham? Because I think they win today, they've taken one massive step with Burnley coming next at winning the Premier League.
Yeah. And look, the team talk is easy, Benny, isn't it? You got 4 more games to play. You got 3 in the Premier League and you got 1 in the Champions League final. And it's all there for you, to do something incredibly special for Arsenal.
That's it, Kaz. I think the team talk almost takes care of itself. And I think Arsenal, if Arsenal go on to win the league and have it wrapped up by, say, the last game of the season, going into that Champions League final, knowing that they've won the league, I think they'll go into that Champions League with not only more confidence, with more freedom, because they've already got a trophy in the bag now, so they almost can't beat you with that stick anymore. But if they go into the Champions League final, not winning the league, the pressure on them beating the best side in Europe in PSG, the pressure is so massive going into that without a trophy that you might see that Arsenal performance where they tense up, they don't play with that freedom. You can tell that they're all nervous. So I think them winning the league before the Champions League final, I think it's massive.
Yeah. Listen, Darren, thanks for popping on today with us. What you doing? You're out and about. It sounds like you're reversing a lorry.
No, I am, to be fair. Yeah, my little boy, he's at Coventry's Academy, so he's got a game this morning. So
good.
I had to just drop him off. I had to just drop him off there, and then now, obviously, I'm going to get a coffee now because I've got to wait an hour before he kicks off.
What position is he, Darren?
Come on, Cash, you know that. What position am I going to make him play?
No, well, I don't know. Some people have their kids and they're different positions. So he's obviously a defender then, is he?
Centre forward. And even when he plays wide, I'm like, I'm not sure about this.
His celebration, is it like the dad?
Do you know what? It's not really. It's a little bit more controlled than me. I mean, listen, he's 12. He's way ahead of me in terms of where I was at 12 compared to where he is.
What, wages-wise?
No, do you know what? Wages-wise, the way he plays, because the game now, Cass, is so technical, like the touch and everything. It's just, I mean, I don't know what I'd be like. I don't know how you feel about it. I don't know what I'd be like coming through at this particular stage compared to when I came through, because everything is just so technical.
Yeah, it is, Darren. You're right. 100%.
Darren Bent, have a wonderful day. Good luck to your wee boy. Good luck to Arsenal today.
Thank you. Cheers guys.
Darren. Bye-bye.
You'll hear Darren Bent with Rory Jennings next week on Drive on talkSPORT. That's all from us today. Keep across all the football here on talkSPORT. Game day live, 1:30. Palace, Everton, Burnley, Villa, Forest, Newcastle, of course, West Ham, Arsenal. And don't forget, the derby up the road as well. Yes, the Old Firm, Celtic Rangers. Bless you, Cass.
Bless me.
Just done that one out loud. Imagine Pards taking all your calls from 6:30 today. Thank you very much for all your interaction, all your messages today. Quickly before we go, why did Bono fall off the stage?
Go on.
He's too close to the edge. Right. We'll leave you here. Coming up for you next, the Sunday edition with Henry Winter, Sean Custis, and Wrexham's Josh Windass. Enjoy.
Let me apologise immediately if there's any smugness or glee from my co-host today. But you are used to Alex Crook by now. But Gabby Agbonlahor is also very happy. Put your cigar down. Great performance. Yeah. Well done. Congratulations.
Very much, thank you.
Do you reckon you could manage to be just a little bit humble because, you haven't won anything?
Yeah, we haven't won anything yet, but, Nottingham Forest fans, last Friday, the messages you were reading out, Sam, the callers, the direct messages on every possible social media platform I was getting, celebrating the fireworks. They had a concert after the game, only to get thumped on probably the most one-sided semi-final second leg